Hello and welcome back for another episode of It Snowed in April. I'm excited to see where we get to this week. It's going to be a lot of fun. Before we jump into all the action and everything, though, I'm going to say a few quick words about our sponsors. Let everybody introduce themselves and their characters, and then we'll jump into it. So sponsors, I'm going to get these links into chat for everybody. The first one is Fundamental RPG. It's a D20 system that can run everything from high fantasy to sci-fi and everything in between. In fact, we do that on the channel this season. We've got a high fantasy, we've got sci-fi, and we've got a couple of interesting horror games that we're running on the system. It looks like this. You can pick up your own copy on Amazon if you want the physical book, or if you prefer the digital copy, you can head over to coffee.com/raven, like it says at the bottom of the screen. And you can pick up the PDF there. At that same site, you can also pick up Intrepid gear, which is adventuring gear for real life. There is apparel and drinkware and accessories and other cool stuff with a tabletop theme. You should definitely check that out. And then finally, Die Hard Dice. They recently sent me this really cool Fey Queen metal set. They are my favorite dice out of all the ones that I have, and that's saying something. But you can pick up your own set at dieharddice.com. And if you use the code BlackFeatherJune, all one word, capital B, capital J, you can get 10% off of your order. And then finally, if you want to catch up on this show or others on the channel, you can do so over at the Fantasy Network at watch.thefantasy.network. All that out of the way, we'll start with the top left with Anthony. Tell us a little bit about Dr. Venn and yourself.
I am back. Hi. I am Anthony Paul, ChatterboxAVA, twitter.com/ChatterboxAVA. I play Dr. Venn. He is a architect of the Citadel of Science in Florence, decorated in a plague doctor's outfit with different kind of metal struts and different kind of metal actuators attached to their body. So they're sort of a very eclectic, very forgetful person that sort of builds these constructs out of human bodies and human tissue. Have a little apparatus on their shoulder to remind them of things that they have done in the very recent past, as well as in terms of sort of short-term, long-term memory. I'm excited for Venn to come back. They have been napping this entire time. I think they're gonna have to figure out where everything is after falling asleep for so long.
Awesome. Next, we've got Hope. Tell us a little bit about Teddy and yourself.
Teddy is a giant man. He is a technophant. He wears a boiler suit with a neck scarf, and he is very handsome as sort of a French sailor caricature. He's a bit gruff. Doesn't tend to involve himself in strategy conversations or really doing more than what has been pointed out to him to do, but that's fine. There's plenty of strategy in this group. I'm Hope Tracy. You can find me on Twitter at HopeTracy71 and Monday nights on Milady Saito's channel. Right now we're playing an underwater campaign. That's all.
All right. Next, we got Josh. Tell us a little bit about Jace Flankman and yourself.
Yeah. Hopefully my internet doesn't cough while I'm doing this. Hi, everybody. My name's Josh. Jace Flakeman. He is a very large man. Think of in the Spider-Verse, the Kingpin, very large, rotund man with a relatively small head, except he's far more pleasant and far more agreeable. He is a doctor. He specializes in actually keeping, even though he does work in the Citadel with Dr. Venn, he specializes in keeping people alive as much as possible. And that's kind of more or less his religion, if you could say. Like he thinks human life is very, very precious and has to be protected at all costs. And as far as me personally, you can find me at Hobox on Twitter, but I'd rather you find me and my kids at Teenagers and Troublemakers. It's a podcast. I'm actually going to put those links in the chat because I haven't thought about doing that until now. And I also have for 5th edition D&D, a Mage Dual Rules book that you could pay what you want, but you could also pay $0. I'd really just like people to try it out, give me feedback, and tell me if you like it or not. And I believe that's everything. If not, tell me.
Alright.
Otherwise, we can move on.
I think that sounded like it, yeah. All right, so I'm next. Raven, I'm the creative director for the Raven Evermore, which is my brand for all the various things that I do, most of which are tabletop related or adjacent. There's my link tree in chat, or if you can't see chat, it's linktr.ee/the Raven, like it's spelled below my face. And then today I'm playing Sophie McDay, who is a very sort of introverted, antisocial character. She's a technosophist. She likes to basically go through scrap of electronics and stuff and MacGyver new creations from that. Um, she doesn't really do people all that much, but she's on this adventure with a bunch of people, and it's a very new experience for her. And some of it she likes, and some of it she is just like, no, thank you. But I think overall she's having fun. So that's me and Sophie. Next we've got Wowzer. Tell us a little bit about Officer Bateman and yourself.
All right. So Officer Bateman is kind of like I think I've settled on like an Angela Lansbury type character, just very like, serious to the point, no nonsense. But I play a militia, which is the law around Florence and everything. But I also do like the jury and the judge type positions as well. So I'm a bit all three. Like I arrest people and sentence them basically at the same time. I'm like, I already know you're guilty, so that's it for me. And I'm, kind of trying to help everybody figure out this construct that painted a picture of a person. They're not supposed to do that, as Teddy would say. So we're trying to get to the bottom of this, and I've somehow accidentally enlisted the help of an 8-year-old. And that's where we're at.
Yep. Fantastic. And then, yeah, over to you, Mitch. Tell us a little bit about yourself and this really cool game that you've got here, and take it away.
Hello, I'm Mitch. You can find me on all social medias at Penny for a Tale. Necrobiotic is just finished up on Kickstarter, though we will have pre-orders and stuff like that opening up soon. ETA for delivery of all products will be next year, February. Cross your fingers, though. We're pretty much done. Just needs to go through editing. And so really it'll just count on shipping and how the state of affairs on that is by the time we're ready to go. So super excited about that. And apparently eventually you'll be able to see, we do have Necrobiotic translated into Japanese, and soon it will be translated in a few other languages as well. So very excited to see it kind of spread throughout the world. We went through our 3-year, 5-year plan the other day, including some new cities that will be opening up, as well as different ways people have handled death, that we kind of had a taste of through the campaign. Very, very slight taste. That will be in the core rulebook as well. But will be kind of fleshed out more with other books and stuff like that. So lots of stuff, cool things are happening. But more importantly, we come to the scene with Brandy finishing up her 80th pull-up before setting her feet on the ground, and gladiator style picks up some dirt and kind of washes her hands with the dirt before flipping a knife into a sheath in her jacket and heading to the tavern. But what's everyone else up to this lovely morning?
Coffee.
Yeah.
Coffee. Ven's been asleep for 36 hours? How long has it been?
Yeah, it's been some time. You kind of just been relaxing in the tavern, sleeping, enjoying yourself. What's cool here is you don't have to get human flakes coffee. You get it poured by a real flesh living person with a smile on their face. Most of the constructs out here are just used for farming. So constructs is kind of like the service industry, are usually kind of in Florence itself. Out here, you'll mostly just see them out in the farms. So yeah, the tavern owner of sorts will pour a nice brew for each one of you and kind of plop a strawberry into it and say, enjoy.
I'd like to keep ears open while we're in the cafe for any people maybe saying some gossip about us or anything like that. Just anything interesting.
Oh yeah, there's so what's everyone's appearance?
Sophie's probably still in like, she's in her hiking clothes, so it probably did like the same pair of like hiking shorts and like a baggy shirt that's wrinkled.
Ooh, I meant
and-
mechanically, but also that like eventually. the so you have on your stats like your appearance. What's everyone's numbers on that?
Oh,
Oh, like our
oh, steel. Got it.
Oh. It goes for steel. I have steel 3, so I'm pretty weak and pretty brittle.
I have
Sorry, I was
a
laughing at myself.
6.
Is anyone
Um,
trained in appearance?
I'm not
No.
trained in appearance. I like to think that it's a matter of Teddy's body language that throws off
Yeah.
his appearance rather than his face, which, as I keep saying, is very handsome. But he doesn't quite have the body language to be appealing to people.
Mhm.
Oh no, we lost Josh.
I
Back here shortly.
yeah, I always count on like my badge to do my talking for me. My steel's only a 4.
My steel's a 3.
Oh. We're just a group. Lucky group.
All right, everyone, give me a appearance test.
Oops.
How many successes do we need?
The more the merrier.
4, 5, 6.
Steel's
I
club.
have-
1, 2, 3,
We took a breath, right?
Oh, steel is diamonds. Yeah, yeah. Everyone, take your first breath.
I have a single steel card in my hand, and it is the ace.
1, 2.
I feel like Wowzer has no steel.
Oh
But
wait,
if you're not skilled, it doesn't really matter what the value of the card is unless it's an 8. Is that correct?
If you trained and untrained, the only difference is that the ability to play 1 card versus 2 cards. Is that Ghostbusters? Oh, that's perfect.
it's all I got. I got an ace,
Awesome.
but it is a diamond, so
Right. So
and
so
then-
the value doesn't matter unless it's an 8, right?
Well, the value
suit won't matter.
matters if you're trying to combine it to an 8.
Right.
So you either have an 8 or there's 2 cards that equal an 8.
Okay, but if you can
I'm-
only play 1 card, just play any value.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're
Go ahead and
probably it's preferable to play a lower value card just so that you keep options later on potentially. It's kind of a strategic way of playing throughout the day.
I thought I was gonna
I
have to blow my Joker already. I was upset.
Oh, I was actually gonna say I'm probably gonna actually pull off my Joker because I have no diamonds.
Oh yeah.
Is there any?
I don't want to get kidnapped again, so I'm just gonna go ahead and use my Joker and see
wait.
that
Look, I
appearance
don't.
wise.
You're gonna be kidnapped regardless today, so I don't.
Oh,
That's just how it is. That just seems like your thing.
Okay, so I'll just play a 3 of diamonds.
All right. Flankman.
Yeah, sorry, my internet went out. I missed
That's okay.
90% of what you guys were talking about.
Oh,
so
we're
just-
doing an appearance play.
appearance play.
Mhm. And what do you
Explain
get,
that.
Sophie? Oh, appearance play. So it's steel. So you're just kind of trying to figure out how much successes you can get with appearance.
Okay, give me a second because along with the internet disconnection, because I'm using a digital card set, it
Mm.
wiped my slate clean, so I got to rebuild my deck.
you still
no
haven't bought
problem.
cards?
I know I haven't. I keep because this thing is working so good. I don't think about it during the course of the week. But what I
And
will
you had to buy
say
a
is,
router.
yeah, exactly, and I'm actually kind of broke because of it.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah, the last thing I heard though was what we were doing in the morning. So I guess I can explain that while you guys
Yeah,
are
go
still
ahead.
doing your thing. Jace Flakman would take a little bit longer to come out of his room than everybody else because A, he's very particular about being clean. B, he's got to squeeze himself back into his lederhosen, and C, any exposed skin is being slathered in this thick, essentially like it's to protect him from the sun. But I imagine it's not he doesn't want the kind that absorbs into his skin. He wants the kind that stays on his skin the entire day.
Oh my
There's
God.
one room and it had a queen bed and we all shared it.
Yeah.
Oh, really? I didn't know
Oh,
that.
oh, that's great. That's great.
Jace
It's not
Flakman-
like it's not like a huge town, so there's only really like the one room.
Oh, so real
With
quick,
the-
did we just who took the bed? Because I'm sure we didn't all just squeeze into the bed. Like, how did that work out?
Sophie stole the comforter off of it and turned it into a hammock, and that's where she slept.
Okay, and Sophie's really tiny, so that would work too.
Yeah.
Just a couple of nails.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because Jace Flakman, unless and once again, once I build my deck, I'd be happy to pull a card for it. Despite the fact he doesn't have the best back, he also wants to try to be a gentleman. So he would try to be offer the bed as much as possible. But if he ends up having to sleep on the floor, he'll be groaning and griping the whole night, unintentionally, and snoring heavily because he's not sleeping comfortably.
Then get hung on a coat rack. He was unconscious and passed out. I imagine someone hung him on a coat rack.
Oh,
Yeah.
there's a body in there.
Is there a body in there?
He looks so peaceful.
This
Bateman.
suit felt a little heavy.
Bateman probably fell asleep in a chair going over notes.
No one slept in the bed.
Pretty much. You know what? We dumped Ven there. Teddy got tired of carrying him.
Thank you.
This was like if nobody else was taking it.
We all
Yeah,
tucked
uh,
Vin in.
Also, I should
sleep,
note,
child, sleep.
if Jace was snoring and being loud all night, then Sophie probably has like the really like oversized earphones hooked up to like a Dell DJ that she's refurbished somehow, MP3 player, and just has that on all night.
It's like a Zune because Zunes are indestructible.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Interestingly enough, I owned both a Dell DJ and a Zune when I was younger.
Awesome. Yeah. So yeah, Sophie, what did you get for the appearance check?
Oh, I played an Ace of Diamonds.
Excellent. No one gets kidnapped.
Yay!
As far as we know. But yeah, people seem to be welcoming you guys pretty well. You guys don't at least look creepy or anything like that, but there's also no like gossiping trails surrounding you. They are kind of curious why people like you are out here gathering and how you all slept in the same room and what that means. But
Were they surprised of the lack of noise?
you,
You have their ear to the door.
Yeah.
They're not making any. This
yeah,
isn't
nothing's
fun.
happening.
What a bunch of boring.
They only gave us one room and then they're going to judge us for sleeping in one room.
And they're like, this is the weirdest polycule ever. They just, it sounds like they're just sleeping.
Boo, boo. There's a guy outside. Boo.
It's like a hole in
Usually,
the wall.
yeah, usually when a large amount of people come out to the countryside, that's kind of,
You're just mad they weren't invited.
yeah.
There we go. Jealousy.
There's
Probably
nothing
what
to
they
do out
wanted.
here. Yeah. But yeah,
I mean, Sophie's Ace anyway, so even if it was a polycule, like, it'd just be maybe loud cuddling from her.
yeah,
Like that's really all she's interested in.
a lot of
There's
face
some
rubbing.
pretty cuddable people in this party.
It's
Two
true.
very big people who could give like some really good cuddles. Let's be
Plankman
honest.
is like a second bed. You could just like lay on top of it.
Like someone
Yeah.
could easily just like you probably wouldn't even notice.
Like
Yeah.
messed with the pecs like you would a pillow. Like, okay, all right, there
It's
we
like,
go.
oh, is there a cooler
There you
side?
go.
Surprisingly,
Yeah,
there
yeah.
is.
Flip it.
That would weirdly appeal to Sophie. Like, wait, I can flip you over and it's cooler.
It's like, are
Oh,
you
this is
dead on
just
the inside?
perfect.
Just a little bit.
This is just perfect.
All right, so now that I want to be on par with everybody else. What kind of card were we supposed to pull for the thing?
So you're playing a steel card. This is a
Steel card, which I do not have. So
an
whatever.
8.
I don't have any 8s at all. None of my cards are above a 6. Or I'm sorry, I have one that's above a 7. Oh, this is a 7. I have 1 7.
So Flankman, you're not well received in this place at all.
Nobody likes the Lederhosen.
Yeah, they like the general chat that you would hear Bateman is kind of like the typical like inner city people don't really know how to act and stuff like that.
Or like, oh, you think that's what we wear? You think
I
that's
know,
what
right? Like it's kind of, oh man. But at least the bartender's nice and pours everyone a nice brew of caffeinated coffee. Yeah. Are we sponsored by a coffee place?
Duncan.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Does Flankman ask for a decaf?
Actually, Flakeman, because he's genuinely interested in being just outside the city, he will take whatever is considered the local. So is there a local brew? Is there a local like breakfast? Like whatever's the like the staple of normal people there, he wants to experience.
We're
Yeah.
not sponsored by them, but I just like them, so maybe it's Found Familiar Coffee.
Yeah.
Found familiar coffee if you want to wake up. Found
I know.
familiar coffee.
Actually, I'm just hearing now we have a new sponsorship. It's from the Cranberry Company.
The Cranberry
We were talking about cranberries.
People need to eat more cranberries.
It helps with your stool.
What is Sophie allergic against? I'm so sorry. I
cinnamon.
joke.
She's allergic to
The
cinnamon.
cinnamon coffee.
Someone puts cranberries in your drink thinking that that's what you're allergic to.
I picked the joke and I was like, oh, this is the thing we have going. Funny.
Apple Jacks.
There you go.
But there is
joke.
for your coffee, they do put like a chocolate covered
Love it.
strawberry on it, so it kind of floats on the top.
Oh, that's fascinating.
Oh, that's delicious.
Yeah.
I like
In
it.
fact, I'll flat out ask: are strawberries even a common thing in the city itself? Like fresh
No,
brew.
not really.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
because
just
like everything is pretty utilitarian. That's why there's not decaf, because if you're drinking coffee because you want to wake up, why are you drinking it otherwise? Drink
Also,
water.
If it's snowing, strawberries would not be growing right now.
It wasn't supposed to snow.
You know what? Initiative. Let's do this. Bateman, tired of that sass.
Somebody here has a greenhouse. Somebody here has a greenhouse.
Bateman,
Strawberries are hard to grow, okay?
Bateman, we're gonna catch these hands.
No, it's because
No,
Bateman
Romans
wants to
cultivated
find
strawberries
this illegal growth operation of like
Just like,
outside of nature's law.
strawberries.
Yeah, it's like
So
we're
if
gonna
there's
go on a whole different
strawberry-
tangent.
if there's a strawberry floating in her coffee. I don't know that Sophie's ever had a strawberry before. So she's fascinated and like takes a little nibble off of it. And it's like for anybody that's seen Firefly, that first episode where Kaylee is pulling out the strawberry and is just like, enamored by it. Yeah, it's like that. She's in her own little world for the next 5 minutes, just really
Yeah.
enjoying this strawberry.
It's like that dark chocolate tipped
hell yeah.
on the edge of the strawberry. It is quite decadent, especially compared to like the city where everything is like utilitarian and stuff like that, and there's not really much room to enjoy oneself unless you're a scientist, and then you get to do whatever the hell you want.
High-paid scientists.
But yeah, and then with that, they serve a corn pancake sort of thing
This is just
for
making me
your
hungry.
enjoyment.
Yeah, I've come up with another reason why the people aren't very enamored by Flankman. He's doing the what about Bob scenario where every bite he takes and every
Oh yeah.
he's like, but he's not doing it intentionally. He's genuinely just like having like the time of his life.
Yeah, like
He's
one of the patrons kind of gets up and places a hand on you, Frank, and says, there is a lovely outdoor seating table, very special for people from the city. Would you like to go there?
We should do that. Yes.
I mean, if the view is as lovely as it's been so far, yes.
Lovely, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, he doesn't pick up on that. It's like a police. He's like, oh, absolutely. Whatever suggested. Yes, I would.
Yeah, and
we want to eat outside. We don't want to bother them with our conversation.
Ben goes to take his corn pancake.
Yeah, exactly.
Ben puts his corn pancake in the thermos. He's rolling it up and stuffing it inside. He's just like very sharp clawed like gloves, just stuffing it down in there.
You're like a gerbil.
Do gerbils have thermos?
It's like his cheeks.
And they're in their cheeks, yeah.
It's like, what do you got in there?
Corn pancakes.
Oh gosh.
I'm dead now.
Bye. Good night, everybody.
And that's the show. We hope you enjoyed it. Gerbils, pancakes, strawberry side quests.
I am sorry.
I'm so sorry.
Oh my god.
I will say, Dr. Ben, you see the cook kind of looking at you as you stuff this perfect corn pancake into your thermos cheek. It's like a single tear running down.
Does he even think it's like out of the ordinary? So he's just like, and back,
And he says to them, I mean, if you weren't going to eat that, and just gestures toward his empty plate, like, all right.
Oh no, I am going to eat it later. Just, I have a secret. I can't digest solid foods, so I process it with my thermos.
Is it because you're trying to eat through the mask?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I guess that explains the curly straw that you always carry around. Okay.
Of course, I keep it everywhere I go. And this little metal bendy straw comes out.
Yeah, so
Please tell me that cleans the straw.
Yeah.
They also haul out a brush to clean the straw, right?
But it's metal, so it doesn't need to be cleaned.
Oh god.
It's like I should also stipulate, you've never seen Ven without his mask. You're not sure if that mask is on as a purely cosmetic item. It could be entirely medical as well, but you're not. You've never seen, and you've never really checked in on that. So
You
like,
slept in it?
I was thinking about that earlier. I was like, yeah, he's never said he's taken off the mask. He's never even said it's a partial mask. I imagine it's literally full encasing. I guess Flankman's
case.
used to it, but so
Yeah, so you guys are placed several meters away from the tavern. It looks like there's no outside seating. I mean, there is, but it's really close to the tavern. But it looks like you guys are giving VIP treatment, and your table is set several meters away from everyone else, with chairs and stuff as appropriate. And yeah.
Were these chairs and table brought outside specifically for us, or does
Yes, it was. Yeah.
It's very
Nice.
obviously not supposed to be there normally.
Yeah, you can see Brandy in the distance doing her 8-mile run in the morning.
What?
She's probably got like a parachute tied to her back.
Yeah.
Please tell me she's Naruto running.
Oh my god, yes.
She's just holding the parachute behind her.
Yeah. There we go. That's perfect. That's perfect.
Can I wave her
Fucking ink
over?
does that go?
Yeah.
I want to make sure she eats food because I'm concerned about her behavior.
Yeah, she comes over, wiping the sweat off her brow. What's up?
Have you had anything to eat this morning?
Had water and a corn box.
Do you want more food? Big missions need big meals.
Big machine.
Yeah, I
What?
guess I can eat. And she kind of unties several rocks that are tied to her knee, and they fall to the ground. Sits down on a chair and grabs a corn pancake.
Yeah, I'll just let her pick off my plate, whatever she wants.
Yeah, she
That
eats all of your
is-
food.
What is this big mission you're talking about?
You haven't told him yet?
Okay, so out of character, was he there?
He was asleep on Teddy's shoulders.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Teddy was hauling him around because Francisco wasn't there.
Brandy here is going to help us solve this case without saying too much.
Yellow, and picks a card. Good. And there's Francesco. It's on my yellow card.
Orchid said we'll get Francesco back when we're finished. We have to go let ourselves be abducted outside the city in 4 days.
Oh, so I was doing the right thing yesterday, yeah? Being scooped up.
You were a giant help.
Oh, I'm a giant help. Oh,
Yeah, big help.
Let me,
that warms my heart.
Let me tell you something. And she pulls out a cigarette from her
No!
pocket.
Even I know that's not good for you.
I don't light it. I just put it in my mouth.
If it's for effect, it's working.
I mean, where did you get that? Do we make those now?
No,
Are
we
those still
don't.
made?
It's probably self-rolled, I imagine.
Yeah.
Is that
From-
Grass.
It's just
I
like
thought it was
corn
like a fucking-
flakes.
sorry, language. I thought it was like a carbon filter cigarette. I was like where did we get that? Is that an ancient artifact
Look,
in the old times?
I'm not going to step around the truth, Doctor. We're going out into the wilderness. Some of us aren't going to make it. Those with physical officer, what's the correct but diplomatic term for someone who can't run? Yeah,
We'll just say they're limited capacity,
there you go. People with limited capacity.
whatever way. It could be
Yeah.
a bunch of different ways.
If you haven't ran 8 miles every morning, you're going to be behind the curve. The things out there know how to run, and they know how to hunt. If you've ever seen a lion chase down an elk, it goes over several days, wearing them down. Are you an elk or are you a lion, Doctor?
I see. Very interesting. He takes off the stilettos. I don't think I am much of a lion, but I think I'm more of a snake. I have other uses that I'd be capable of. I imagine evenly encountering many kinds of poisons and toxins from the surrounding fauna and flora. I believe that is something that even a lion can't get out of their paw. Otherwise, I believe if we all work together, we'll be better off than alone.
I'm looking
we
out
can-
for number one. Me. I suggest you do the same.
You know, I was wondering why an 8-year-old was being coming along with us, but you say you run 8 miles a day,
Yes.
and no one stops you. No one has any adult come over and perhaps suggested caution on such very rigorous exercises.
I'm a child. I'm unique and alone in this world. In a world that you have and your predecessors have destroyed, leaving me with a future that is unknown. Who knows who will be alive when I have reached adulthood? So, for this time being, I'm going to do whatever the hell I want because you all have done whatever the hell you wanted in the past, which has led to this very moment.
You know what? That is such a compelling point. It's important to know how the world works and where your place is in it. And like he kind of like takes a step back and kind of just like goes over to Officer Bateman and like, this kid needs an IQ test and some therapy, cognitive behavioral, if possible.
Sophie
He,
just, like-
Flightman does his best to whisper. Also, he's like, I'm still not convinced. She's 8.
Sophie just blurts out, like at that point, once Brandy's finished her little speech there, without looking up from her pancake, just blurts out, excuse me, sorry, I got something caught my throat. Just blurts out, probably a beaver.
Damn.
Just eating.
Literally, damn.
Is there more to that, Sophie?
Oh, what animal we would be? I'd be beaver because I build things,
Busy beaver.
and I generally like leave other people alone. So I just like to build things and have my own little space, and so yeah, beaver.
I think that is good. Frankly, what animal would you be? Quickly trying to distract from the child going on a sophist rant.
I mean, admittedly, I don't know much about the animal or animal kingdom. If you give me some time to come up with it, Teddy Bateman, animals. Oh, there we go.
Teddy?
Officer Bateman.
Yeah. Oh, I was gonna let you go first. I guess me and Brandy over here are the lions. I'm gonna like fist bump her.
Teddy settles back into his chair and he just says, "Oh, I think it's fairly obvious." As once again the chair creaks dangerously under his massive weight.
I was going to say maybe a seal.
A what?
A seal, like the boys that flippity flop across the sea,
Seal?
particularly
Where?
in Antarctica and.
No, I'm talking about a bear.
Oh, it's your name Teddy. That is a good one.
Huge and strong.
I mean, the seals huge and
Pretty
strong.
accurate.
I've seen lion seals.
I
Those
mean-
lion seals.
I believe I mean, I think I read in a book once that polar bears might have eaten seals. I mean, of course, we don't know if they're extinct at this point or not. I don't think anybody's done an expedition further north to find out.
Do you ever stand
I
your coffin
think
up
it
and
is
like scratch your
very
back on it?
wet.
Like,
All the time.
yeah.
There's actually a rough surface to it.
Yeah.
All the time. As he
You know-
scratches his back on like the knob on top of the chair.
If I had Francesca,
Looks like a cheese grater. It's like,
there's actually speaking.
I'm sorry, what? Oh, frozen.
I think
Do
he
you
froze.
Yeah.
Table sometimes when you're out in the wild? Oh, I'm frozen.
Mhm.
Am I?
turning into a robot, yeah.
Oh, it's my turn. Oh, it's my turn.
And it sounds like it's really clever and interesting too.
We're doing that thing where everybody just kind of nods their heads and it's like, yeah,
We really just can't hear him through his mask.
pretty much. Maybe it's because he's stuffing his cheeks with the pancake
No, yeah,
at
yeah.
the same time. Or I'm sorry, he drinks it through a straw or whatever because he has to liquefy it. Yeah, like I said, admittedly, I know very little bit about animals and animal kingdoms. I
That's
studied
better.
human anatomy and how to keep them alive. But I guess we're heading into the lion's maw or den, so to speak, and so maybe having to learn to prevent those injuries and how to survive them may be a little lax. Apologies for everyone if I'm unable to mend any potential injuries you may get from tooth and fang.
I don't think
Knife.
anything here is going to be that big
Oh,
of a
okay.
threat.
I mean, I've heard stories.
I know
read
we need to
stories.
be prepared
For
beyond
cannibals.
this point. Yes.
What were you saying, Dr. Ben?
Oh, it was nothing. I was just trying to say, if I had Francesco, we could have a speaking spell and hear all the sounds of the animals.
That would be interesting.
I just don't know if Brandy's ever heard what a seal sounds like, or a polar bear sounds like. We have actually there was this interesting project I archived a while back ago about seals and designs, measurements of ancient by our standards specimens of polar bears and seals and stuff and such. I think it was considered too much effort and too much human skin to produce, but yeah, fun little project.
Would you
ignore
want
me.
us to try and get Francesco back
I
before
guess ignore
continuing?
me, I suppose.
I mean, Francesco will be returned to us.
I mean, it would. They say that, but I mean, the first place to me, very valuable, but there's not much to be gained from an aberrant construct. I just don't know why they are keeping them in the first place.
I think we'd be best off cooperating with these people as much as possible if we want to obtain our goal.
I agree, but I also believe we
I'm
should be extremely wary.
Do that. I'm just mentioning this.
I feel like they should know that we trust them by now, and I don't feel like that's returned. And I think I'd like to know that they trust us as well. And having Francesco would be
I don't think we've given them any reason to trust us.
Yeah, we're about to give them even less too. Oh, Sophie, did you finish your... Sophie's not here. Never mind.
I'm here.
Sophie
Sorry.
went to get more pancake.
I'm
I
here,
get a
sorry.
refill.
Yeah, you
got
gotta like walk
end
back
up with
7
an
meters.
eyelash in my eye.
Oh
I
no.
had to go take care of that.
Did you make a wish? Oh wait, that's a different one.
What was the question for Sophie? Sorry.
Did you finish your project last night?
Oh, yeah, I did. And she pulls out. It's basically just like a metal plate with these like metal spider-looking legs on it, and like an old camcorder, like handheld camcorder, sort of mounted on it with a little light. It looks a lot like Roomba, her little robot, except it's made out of an old VCR parts instead of an actual Roomba.
And is there a way for us to monitor this, or do we have to retrieve it also?
Oh, yeah, and she'll pull out. It's like the little view screen part of the camcorder, with like an antenna sticking out of it. And I forgot to mention the little robot does have like a router, like an old internet router, like just on its butt, essentially.
This is incredible.
This actually is very remarkable, and you just at this point, Flameman's actually a little speechless. It's like,
Well, yeah, back at the bazaar, I picked up some, the old VCR and some old electronics, and this was used for like wireless communication stuff, and I just repurposed it. It's just slap some parts together.
Well, I'm sure it's not as easy as that, but I'm glad it was not difficult for you.
And Sophie's, obviously very unused to having any sort
praise
of
and
but yeah, praise, especially for the electronic stuff that she does, because
Yeah, most people
She
are
does.
like, "Oh, you nerd."
yeah, it's just like, oh, thank you. She's a little flustered.
Oh,
I mean, this is a like I guess like a world lore question. I imagine there's at least a sect of people who believe that type of technology is what left us in the world we are today. Like, I mean, like how cell phones are supposed to give you cancer, so somehow we've given the Earth cancer, and that's why we're not surviving. Maybe.
Yeah, there's definitely a group, some people who believe that. Though most of society believes that the technosophists in their enjoyment of the old tech is useless, just because it's not.
Well, it probably yeah, it's not sustainable, and it probably doesn't last for very long.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like watching someone on a typewriter instead of a computer. You're like,
yeah, it's like why Tom Hanks, why?
And you're like, Tom Hanks, why are you here in my room?
Why are you obsessed with typewriters? It's like you write someone a letter on a typewriter that's cute, and it gets passed along on the internet. It's like you're defeating the purpose. Sorry.
and you just have to retype it on your computer, and it's like more work for yourself. So do we have a plan to get this in there?
Is it radio controlled?
Yeah, I mean, it's got limited range. And she just like pushes a button on a little tablet type thing, and it crawls up and like just sits on Jace's head. Like, yeah, it can do a little bit. The range
It's like,
is
no, my hair. There's no
the range is pretty short. It's not very sturdy. It's not like a real spider. You can't just climb up walls and stuff. So you'll probably want to place it, and then it can just latch onto whatever surface that you stick it to.
Okay, so we need once again from the serials I used to read an inside man, someone to go inside and place this and then leave. Who had the best?
Read cereal, Doctor. Is it like alphabet cereal?
The alphabet is used in reading serials. Yes, it's another word. It is it's books or magazines or stories, short stories.
Sophie just starts muttering to herself for like a solid couple minutes about like how are books breakfast food, and just she's in her own little world for a couple minutes.
It's like that overloaded her mind.
Yeah.
Like redesign an entire thing of surveillance equipment, no issue.
Yep.
A word meaning more, a single word having more than one meaning, just too much.
Does Sophie think a serial number is like a designation for a kind of cereal? They handle all this kinds of different tech that have serial numbers, and you're just like, ooh, crunchy.
Oh yeah.
Most
As the
of the stuff
numbers
probably
and
has just
numbers.
like S/N, so she probably doesn't like dawn on her that's serial number. It's
That is
just-
true. It
that's
usually doesn't
that's
say the word cereal. No, that is true.
Yeah, it's like it's the
Oh,
SN
yeah.
number.
It's the ATM machine. No.
Yeah.
It's the machine.
So
But yeah,
how are we gonna get into this place again?
well, I mean, who had built the best repertoire with the people inside? I believe Teddy was chatting somebody up quite easily.
I got kidnapped.
I know, but I really don't approve of this plan.
Oh,
What is your problems?
I think getting along with these people, maybe they're right.
I'm not saying we can't go along with what they're saying. I'm just saying in our own best interest, they seem to have the upper hand, and they seem to be holding more of the cards than us, and they know more about us than we know of them. That's something I'm not entirely comfortable with.
Where's Brandy right now? Are we doing this in front of Brandy?
Yeah, she's continuing to eat, every now and then throwing a knife into the ground and picking it back up.
I mean, we could talk about this another time. There could be better moments when this conversation could be happening.
This is how she got involved in the first place.
I don't even remember her getting involved. So at this point,
I mean,
Well,
I feel like Officer Bateman got along well enough with Orchid.
I can be intimidating enough, I think, in most situations. I don't really seem a threat. Officer Brandy, did you hear anything last night about us? Any mention of us from anyone?
Yeah, my parents spoke about you.
Was it good?
I don't know. I think they worry my involvement with the law might lead me down a dark path. It's kind of early for me to start thinking about this, to be the adjudicator of people's lives on a daily basis, to be judge, jury, executioner. But I let them know that I'm old enough. I'm ready. It's
Do
my
you have
choice.
access to a library?
In a way, yes.
That's even more confusing than I was expecting.
And she drinks more coffee.
So is that their only problem with us, is that they think I'm leading you down a dark path of helping people, however dark that may be, I guess, to them?
Helping people.
Keeping people safe?
Stealing the dead not letting people mourn the rituals that have kept humanity sane for centuries before this disaster occurred. And you take these moments from people. We take these moments from people.
If you want to change something, the best way to do that is from the inside.
I think if you look back at history, so many people have tried to change things and nothing got better. The changes were the other direction.
Well, someone else failing doesn't mean we all stop trying.
All water returns to the ocean. So all of
Okay,
humanity must eventually return to the dirt.
I think I should step in and say that maybe the parents have some valid concerns. I'm not entirely comfortable with the idea that we're bringing a very wonderful person in harm's way.
Where Brandy won't leave this area. These are all people that know her and love her and would never harm her is the only reason. I do think they underestimate her.
Let's just keep that in mind, so that from my perspective, whether we have some chances or not, that I would like to keep faith in these people so long as what you said they were what were they doing under the silo?
Just printing pamphlets.
Yeah, that isn't something that can hurt people. If they had like bombs or poison, I would raise concern. But if they're merely trying to communicate their beliefs, I don't see the harm in trusting them.
Is that it's more dangerous for someone to disseminate information than it is for someone to create a bomb.
I actually agree with that.
We've seen what fake news can do.
You'll excuse me, I still have a mile left to run. She places her coffee down and puts the weights back on before nodding to Bateman and setting off.
Wait 30 minutes to digest it or you'll get a cramp! Oh,
damn it, you did first.
That's not what you're going to say the same thing. We say it at the same time.
Jinx.
Yeah, I feel like 5 minutes from now you just see
we're not going
her.
to get to Rose unless we cooperate with them.
5 minutes from now, you see not Bateman, Brandy just fall, grabbing her leg.
Cramp!
Okay.
Wait, and then we find out later that's the purpose. She's trying to give herself immunity to cramps by doing them more often. You build a resistance to it.
Push past the pain.
Van starts slurping from the cello with his straw.
Gross.
Cornstarch.
So I have to be back at work tomorrow morning. So if you're going to do this, we should get it done.
Alrighty. Then let's be on our way. Right? Are we waiting to get kidnapped, or are we walking somewhere to get kidnapped?
We have to meet them outside the walls of Florence.
Yes.
That's in a couple days still.
Yeah, you guys got this was the first night, and they said 3 days. So you have 2 more days before it all goes down.
I'm just saying that I am employed by the Citadel. I have a shift coming up.
We could return.
I believe between us who work, several of us, all of us really work directly for the Citadel, and you're technically out. You can just claim it's a special patrol. I believe they give special permission for that.
We scientists can also lease your services.
That is very true.
Sophie's looking at everyone who's like, I have a job, like, weird flex, but okay.
It's one of those things where when Flakeman said that, he actually looked around, and since you're so short, he didn't even see you in his eye level.
Oh my god.
It's just like,
we should. So we get Francesco when we get kidnapped, or by the end of the day.
When we're kidnapped,
Okay.
we get Francesco back.
Okay, because if it was the latter, then I would have suggested we wait until maybe we get them back. But I mean, we can go back. I will have to probably explain why I'm coming back without the construct. Oh,
We could
that is the problem.
see
I
if
mean-
they would let us take Francesco back with us if everybody does want to go back and maybe kind of prepare for what is about to happen.
I mean, one of the reasons I'm so concerned is, I mean, why do they need to hold on to a contract for several days unless they're trying to reprogram it or give it to ulterior motives?
Yeah, they could actually be putting a bomb in it for all we know. And a construct delivered to the citadel at a certain point or to this farm means that it would have a very effective timer trigger.
Maybe we try and get Francesco back then before we go and do a thorough search on him just in case.
And will it compromise our standing agreement with these people?
I don't see how. We'll just say we
mean-
won't bring him back. Are you
Mm.
do you want to take him to like
Yeah, I was going to bring him to this farm, I suppose you called it. So it wouldn't be that they would be brought back and kept there permanently. Just more like a hey, we need to make sure that the citadel doesn't hear about your activities, and so we need to be all hands on deck. Look inconspicuous.
that could work?
Okay, so in order to get back to talk to these people, we have to fight all those constructs again. And by we need to fight all these constructs again, I mean I have to fight all those constructs again, and I don't want to.
Really? I passed out because I fought so many of them. So
That's not what
there's only
happened.
like one or two.
Yeah, I
Go on,
can't.
do.
I can't disassemble him.
Well, he's
that
not.
fast.
Is he? He's being kept in the silo. I thought he was.
If you're
being-
asking for him back from the
Well, they
people in
never
the silo, we have to
divulged
fight
that
the constructs again. We don't have a pass. The only time we don't have to fight them is coming back out of it.
Where did we
I
come
don't
out?
want to fight them.
Is there a way to get in the way we came out? Oh,
I
wait,
mean,
we came
I'm
out.
sure there's a device out. I'm sure there's a way to either knock or maybe it was nighttime. Maybe we just didn't see it. If we just make enough noise, they'll come out and check.
We could get someone else that they wouldn't attack to go in.
That's true
Like-
too.
Like
I mean, Brandy knows the area. I mean, I'm sure she's seen it. She seems to really know what's going on around here. I'm sure she's seen people come and go. People do work there. They come and go. They have family members that deliver things and food. But Vin, you made an interesting point earlier. Do you believe that Brandy might be a double agent? She's like integrating herself with us so that she can help us, but also give information to them.
I don't know. I mean, it seems like she's outcasted from the peers. Very maladaptive traits, perhaps from this whole revenge arc she's on. So hard to say, yeah or nine, but we could try to keep less less public information to ourselves when in her presence, just as a precaution.
It's actually, yeah, I actually that makes quite a bit of sense. She's a sort of a dangerous third party, doesn't take sides but her own kind of character. Yes.
I do want to go back to the conversation about her getting therapy. Like seriously, I'm very unnerved by this entire situation of working with someone who clearly has been training her entire life to kid people, at consciously at the age of 8. Like we could get her to the Citadel. We could see if any of the architects know very specialized pediatric scientists and therapists, uh, psychiatrists maybe for.
I think she's just got a healthy imagination. I don't think that all automatically means therapy is necessary. It's
What was
very
your
normal.
childhood like?
It's very
What?
normal for children to pretend to be law. It's very normal. There's outfits that you could buy and play dress up. I do
What?
have these little child's badges that I've given to all of you. I'm not recruiting children in any way, but I do encourage a healthy imagination and the want to help your fellow man.
Officer
wow,
Bateman,
those-
You used to write tickets to your friends, didn't you? When you were a child.
When they broke the law, yes.
not to be too personal or vulnerable, but what was your childhood like, Officer Bateman?
I could ask you the same question.
It's interesting you say that because I have no memory. I'm going to forget this conversation in 2 or 3 minutes.
But you remembered
Meanwhile, I
that
ask
you're going to forget
questions.
it.
Yeah.
Well, I build systems in which I am able to recall information, so I might be able to use it in the future.
My childhood is not going to be useful information to you in the future. It's okay.
Well, I can also make it that confidential, where it can only be this could. If you ever want to step aside, I'm a very good person to forget very private information. What I'm trying to say is, depending on the answer of what your childhood was like, I would be able to perhaps inform you why her behavior is very above the norm. Her capability in vocabulary is extraordinary, but it's also very informed on a very existentialist, nihilistic viewpoint that children aren't supposed to have.
It's
I'm
a
saying.
different time than what we grew up in. Maybe it's just how children are going to grow up now. It's what's around them. They don't get the same opportunities that we had.
I mean, that's fair. I still don't think it's something we should get used to, but it's kind of, I guess, a kind of a moot point if Brandy refuses psychiatric aid.
Sophie kind of just looks at that little child badge that Officer Bateman was holding up while you're having this intellectual conversation. Just goes, huh? Those look a lot like the real little deputy badges. That's really neat. Wow, those are really good replicas there. She's holding her child, quote unquote, child badge.
It's just to encourage, children to at least follow some sort of good path in their life. Be helpful.
I missed some of that. What was because my internet did that weird thing again. What were you saying?
Oh, Sophie just was noting that the children or child little badges, the little pretend badges that look a lot like her quote unquote totally official badge. I was like, wow, those are really good replicas. Wow. They look like the real thing.
Mine is real. Speaking of, I need that back before we leave.
Well, did you trade a knife for it? So you hand back the knife, you get back your badge.
I did want to figure out who's making knives for an 8-year-old.
I don't believe they're making knives for an 8-year-old. An 8-year-old either bought them or took them or intimidated for them, which I would fully believe.
I want to meet a man that could be intimidated by an 8-year-old into giving them a bunch of knives.
Flamey just raises his hand. It's like I could see that. That would, if that child probably could take. In fact, real quick, should everybody kind of pat their pockets to make sure anything wasn't taken?
Oh yeah, can we?
Yeah. You see Brandy in the distance, still like clutching her leg, like she's trying to like.
Someone help her. I'm going to go help her. You guys
crawling forward, like
pickle
She's
juice.
through the
Who needs
rain.
pickle juice?
But yeah, nothing has been taken so far.
Okay, so it seems on the up and up. Okay, but it was not just necessarily for Brandy, but just like the fact that they're in strange surroundings. Teddy,
It's like, where's the coffin? Ah.
Teddy's like, what? It's been replaced with like a cardboard replica. Somehow didn't know it's filled with rocks.
I mean, I'm free.
Aw.
Freedom. But Teddy, I did have a question, and I forgive me for not thinking about this sooner, even though I'm sure it already occurred to you. We are dealing with someone that we've more or less confirmed used to work in your they have the same skill
Location.
set.
Yeah.
Same. Thank you. My brain doesn't always tell me what I need to say out loud.
Right.
What if I guess if we said pretend that you were in their shoes, what would you do to protect yourself or defend? Like, would you set up a trap like this, or how would you go about doing it, and how we can maybe outmaneuver them?
They're going to bring us to Rose. We just have to play their game to get there. We
So
don't know
you
how to get
believe
there
that they're-
otherwise.
You believe that that is the only way, and that they're on the up and up?
They don't have any other. I don't think this needs to be more complicated than it is. None of us are fully defenseless, even when blindfolded. If they mean us harm, they could have killed us at any time. We've eaten enough food in this village to have been poisoned 10 times over. Teddy says, taking the last bite of corn pancake off his plate
Insane.
and just like
it.
with surety putting it in his mouth. If they wanted us dead, we'd be dead.
I
Do we
can't
think
actually
it's
argue
worth
with that.
questioning the man that makes weapons? Okay.
She's
I mean, no, I think that's a
charming
great
in her
idea.
way.
I mean, they might be able to, if they can supply an 8-year-old supposedly with dangerous weapons, they might actually be able to provide us with things we need with actual coin and, authority of the Citadel behind us.
Well, what are you looking to be provided with?
Well, I mean, I could use some more. Oh goodness, let me look up the term. I was like, I could find some more totiponent stem matrices. I used up the only one I had available.
Wouldn't the market
or
have
at the
that?
very least, what I need to create my own. Which who knows, they might have access to that kind of stuff. I didn't realize. I should have thought ahead of time and grabbed more than a couple, more than just one, actually.
So you're opposed to going back to your own laboratory to make these things?
Oh no, I'm not opposed to that. I'm just saying that it wouldn't be. I don't see. Well, actually, I could see about 5 ways it could be harmful. Going to visit a person that has lots of weapons.
I just wanted to make sure that they weren't dealing to both sides.
Well, surely they are. I mean, did you meet Camilla?
Maybe we could, figure out what we're up against when we get there.
Oh, at least one technophont. Probably more. From what I heard about Rose, she's charismatic.
Probably fanatical followers.
Hmm.
willing to throw their lives on the line, which I will say right
if
now.
you
I-
have ever seen a group of cannibals eating anybody, and someone said they could defend you from them, you would be fanatic too.
I've never met a cannibal that I'm aware of. No, I can't
Yeah.
say that I have to take your word for it.
Loyalty could be more dangerous than weapons.
Agreed.
I think the only reason why we're still alive, frankly, is because they want to be sure that they can recruit more people from the Citadel. I think the interest in us is a matter of not indoctrination, perhaps, but more of recruitment. Perhaps that is why Francesco was summoned. It's because it's valuable to recruit people who can perform work on the inside.
I believe that. I was thinking something very similar.
What cause do you work toward?
Me?
Do you remember?
Yeah. I believe at one point I had something. I definitely still remember that I became part of the archives of the Citadel of Science for a reason. Why I became an architect, I that is not something my device recorded. But I do know one thing. I know that science is very important and useful to everyday people, and I try to keep the idea that constructs are of some value to society. You know, being someone who can forget things easily puts you in a position to have cards on very powerful people. And when the time is right, as I've designed with that boy here, those cards can be used in the benefit of others instead of a pettiness. Yeah. So that's
Aren't you curious about Venice?
Venice.
One of the pamphlets they're printing
You
is about
you
Venice.
have to understand. I was unconscious on the shoulder.
Were we able to
All
keep
of
the
that.
pamphlet, or did they take it back from us? Because I never gave it back.
Oh, then if you didn't give it back, you have it.
I will show them to Vin so he can catch up on what exactly it is that's going on.
Connection. Yeah, so you have to understand that I was unconscious during that entire thing. So if I seem a little bit out of the loop, what?
Mhm.
Just like briefly looks at the pamphlet and like kind of just stops like, so that is another city. Oh, that is that is interesting. And very dangerous information if true. Which could be.
So
But
do we want to try and get Francesco back? We need to head out. We've got quite the journey back to the Citadel.
do they believe that Francesco is a key to?
Actually, you know what? That's I was gonna say. That's the question. I forgot how much traveling, how many hours are even a day? Did it take a full day to get?
Yeah, it was about a full day.
Half a day. Oh, full day? Okay.
Yeah. So
and we
basically,
had a ride too. We weren't walking
Yeah.
the whole time. So
yeah. So which I mean, it's
We
one of those
should
things where like
definitely-
I know when it comes to like riding on a wagon and stuff, it's less about the speed and more about just saving your own energy. So we could walk, it would take roughly, and we'd just be exhausted.
Yeah.
So yeah, if we were to leave right now and we got back to the city, we could only spend a few hours in the city before we had to walk again to make it here in time for the rendezvous.
No, we
What
need to
is
meet
this-
outside the city of Florence.
Oh, is
We
that,
have-
oh, is that
Yes.
okay?
Yeah.
But once again, the city of Florence is big. Like, all right, maybe that's the question. What part of the wall? Because I imagine it's a huge wall. Like, and so I'll admit, I forgot.
we're meeting north of the town at 6 a.m. So we have to be
But
up and
out,
out
like-
early.
But outside of the, I guess,
Yeah, it's north of Florence, not north of the town.
Yeah, my notes say that we'll be blindfolded and taken outside of Florence,
Mhm.
and we can't return. Once we go, we can't come back without Orchid's permission.
Okay, so we I guess okay. So as far as time constraints are, we do have time to go back, kind of handle some stuff, sleep for a little bit, and then make it out to the wall. Okay,
Put in for
okay.
some vacation time because there's no telling how long this is going to take.
People need to let's leave Francesco here. I mean, it's a necessary risk, and we can always do that background check before we head into the city after whatever transpires.
I thought you were gonna say is because like I'm sure he'll enjoy the wide open spaces for a bit. Let him run free. It's a farm. He loves it. He'll love
Make
it.
sure you have that story as to why you don't have him ready. Because if you think anybody will notice, you could try and lay low.
It could be a matter of logistics or bureaucracy. Might have stored them in the silo here, and now they're unable to recover him. So it's not necessarily a good system to keep track of what construct is what, you know. And if it's a very specific construct, that would make it even harder. In fact, it's a fact that there is a specific. It's a fact that I name my constructs. That is a very precarious thing.
I mean, I believe if we head back into the city, we could easily put in the proper paperwork to essentially sort of give all of us an excuse for why we're heading out. You know, we had special ops or special for me, looking for special medicinal plants outside the city itself, so I could excuse myself for several days, a weekend if needed.
So
I mean,
maybe when we get back,
I've accumulated quite a bit of vacation time on top of that.
Yeah, and like architects act like professors with tenure. They just do whatever the hell they want.
maybe
So
when we
really-
get back, we don't get make sure we're not seen together.
Yeah, and I'm sure if there's any red tape, Bateman, I'm sure you're quite used to the bureaucracy and can help us get through that a little bit easier.
I could do some paperwork.
Yeah, and Flame actually looks at Sophie and it's like, Sophie, if you'd like, we could actually maybe even give you a special assignment where maybe we say that your skills are needed and you could get a small stipend perhaps for your time.
Yeah, that sounds great. I'm on board with that plan.
Oh, you know what? I have a plan for Francesco. Don't worry about it. I have it handled.
This might be the first time he's not divulging what his plan is, and it worries me.
I
Dr.
trust
Vin,
him.
You want to know my plan?
well, it's more of if it's going to potentially affect what we're doing, I would like to know, yes.
Oh, I mean, I'm just going to forget.
Could you write it down, and then we won't forget when we see it?
No, I'm going to forget.
That's your plan.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, like, so in your cards, you don't have like a reminder, say, hey, where's Francisco? Because
Oh, but they know this from me. At this point, they know this from me that sometimes I remember to write things down and then forget whatever I was supposed to write down. So
Should write a note to forget.
it changes color when I forget something. I just can't remember what it is I forgot.
You know what, Ben will just like, yeah, I forget. Write something on a card to on his machine, and just kind of like turns back to Flankman. Yeah, so I think this will just chalk up a loss and tell me to go get it back whenever I can, you know.
Or perhaps maybe think of it as a reward after a job well done. Because we will. I'm pretty sure we'll get him back in one way or another. Though I do believe we should absolutely give him a thorough examination.
I think if I show up and say, "Oh, where did I put my boy? I'll have to go back out and get them in the coming days and be like, tell them this town or whatnot. You know, it's not going to be issues. What I'm saying."
Yeah, Flagman actually kind of like, once again, not very quietly, kind of leans towards everybody else. That actually wouldn't be the first time that he's misplaced a construct that he's working on.
Sophie, what is the range on your camera?
Oh, it's just like a few meters, really. It's not very far for the remote control. I mean, the monitor will work for a lot further, but the controls on it are pretty limited.
Is there a way that we can take the camera from it, and when we're blindfolded, have like maybe some glasses? I don't know how advanced your technology can get, but a way for us to see what's happening while we're blindfolded. Maybe we should talk about this and work on this when we're back, not in this town.
I don't want anybody already walking while we're talking.
I just had a thought. Even though, goodness, I'm actually embarrassed that I thought of this because I just realized we're putting a, once again, potential 8-year-old in danger. If they don't know that we have Brandy with us, she could just follow behind and keep track. Lead a trail of breadcrumbs, so to speak.
I wouldn't want her leaving her parents.
I think she's going to do it regardless.
Yeah. I was on board with her helping here, but not there. Like,
oh, I see. Okay,
yeah.
I did.
Yeah,
It's just I just have a sneaking suspicion she might be around. She seems more excited about this than she was before.
I hope not.
We're like a flame, and she's like a moth, and she's gonna keep following. Burns be damned.
To answer Officer Bateman's question, I think Sophie probably starts thinking out loud for a little bit and mentions some old artifact that maybe you haven't heard of. She mentions Google Glass. She's like, no, where am I going to find one of those in the junkyard?
Like, people hated those things back then.
A few of them.
She's like, yeah, I maybe if we find the parts, but they're pretty hard to find. But I can try, but no promises.
That's fine. We're all
Also
just going to do our best.
Roomba, keep an eye on it.
So after eating your corn pancakes, are you guys heading back? Are you going to try to talk to the local smith about said weapons? Or just heading back right now? Anything else you're doing in town? Getting some corn pancakes to go?
Yeah, Sophie's going to try to get more of those strawberries to take with her.
Yeah.
Oh.
Flayman's game for whatever everybody else is up for.
Yeah, everyone gets one strawberry per day, sadly.
Strawberries don't grow on trees.
So it's just like, well, that's it. I got to stay here for at least a few more days.
Just wait till 12:01. It's tomorrow.
Just shows up like standing over this person's bed like, it's 12:01. Where's my strawberry?
Give me those strawberries.
How did you get in my room?
That's not important right now. What's important is strawberry.
If everyone else is thinking that we don't need to talk to the weapon man, I'm fine with that. I'm on board with just heading back. But I do need to get my badge from Brandy, if that's what we're doing. I'm going to give her her dagger back and get my badge.
Is that what you hope to do?
If we're not going to talk to the man that makes weapons, I'm getting my badge back.
I mean, player speaking is interested in the man that makes the weapons as well. Like, I think that's a really interesting thing to check out.
The weapon
Sophie's
man.
just sort of like indifferent, so she's gonna go wherever the group goes, basically.
What do you think, Teddy?
As long as we start on the road today, I'm happy. But let's not do the spying thing.
Okay. We'll talk to him. Short visit, I suppose.
Okay.
At least get a read on the type of person that it is.
So
And
someone
then
at the tavern can point you to the weapon man.
Nice.
They call him just the engineer. Yeah. Timothy is his name.
The engineer.
Timothy,
Is
the
it Timothy?
engineer weapon man.
What? Why are you sighing at me?
At least you said Timothy.
Why?
Why at least
And
Timothy?
an engineer instead of an enchanter. We don't need any of that here.
Oh. Kid.
enchantment.
Oh god, Dragon Age.
Oh my god. Oh
I love
yeah.
Sandal.
Oh, Sandal's the best.
That's
But yeah.
Sandal.
It point
Enchantment.
out they point out this this workshop like a mile out that you can see little smokestacks coming out. Walking over there, there's just kind of like scrap metal and such all around. You would notice, Teddy, that there are techno-powered like pieces of armor as well as weapons. So like, you know, the large sword that can only be picked up by someone with techno-powered armor, great axes, a kind of like a whip of steel, all that sorts of stuff. And they have those like those huge like because it's in this like barn with a silo attached to it, which the top has been cut off to kind of have like this little old lighthouse look to it. And yeah, there's like these huge barn doors with the kind of words etched into it. Wait, can I curse here?
Yeah, absolutely.
Fuck off.
Oh, I've been apologizing about swearing this entire time.
Oh yeah, as long as it's not like every other word, I'm whatever you want to say.
I actually like
you
the
can say
idea
the
that
fuck
this-
word.
Sorry. I actually like the idea that the sign actually says, "Can I cuss here?" Fuck off.
It does. It does.
It's just like, can I cuss here? Yeah, okay. Fuck off.
Yeah, fuck off.
It's like, or is it kind of like if you're close enough to read this writing, you're too close, kind of thing. It's like,
Yeah. And yeah, you hear kind of like sawing and like welding.
Sorry, this reminded me of a funny story that I can share with you later.
I imagine like the sounds probably aren't too dissimilar to like the kind of like the industrial side of the Citadel, like all the noises that
Yeah.
are usually for like making. So it's like it's that in a weird way, it's almost soothing, like a rhythm. Like
Mhm.
Is it just the one person that works there? Or is there multiple people that work there?
From what you've heard, it's just one person.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Great. So let's walk in the door.
All right.
Who wants to go first?
Ignoring the sign.
yeah, so I was gonna say, should we
who pushes
announce
it?
ourselves or knock or? Oh, never mind. I guess we're going in.
And yeah, you notice a very large woman, like wearing kind of the engineer pack on the side with several like welding and hammers and stuff like that. There's actually at the tip of the satchel that she's wearing is slightly on fire. Like you see like the smoldering smoke coming from it. Her hair is kind of this bright red that's kind of tied up with like multiple goggles. One of them is broken as she's just kind of hammering away at this huge weapon before her. You see like knives lining the walls of various weapons and like all sorts of techno-powered goodies. As well as some like shovels and basic crap that she has in the corner, farming equipment. And the moment you guys step in, like these huge saw blades just kind of smash into the ground before you. They look like it was kind of booby trapped, but not in a way that's actually intended to kill anyone, more so scare someone. So like these huge saw blades just kind of smash into the dirt in front of you, like in getting into it. And you hear Timothy kind of speak up. So you ignored the words of fuck off, did you? And she turns around, kind of part of her face is burned, like just kind of like these burn marks all over her face, with this wicked smile as she spits out onto the ground, looking at you with kind of these very dull green eyes. And that's where we'll pause for our break. Everyone, go get corn, pancakes,
Refill your
dark chocolate, strawberries.
Yeah, into your coffee. Make sure if you have an 8-year-old that they're doing their 8-mile run for the morning, to be prepared for the future that is to come. But yeah, we'll be back in a few moments as we do our bios, drink our coffee, and check in.
Awesome.
All right.
We'll be right back.
Right back.
We are back.
Welcome back.
Wow.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
Welcome back. Yeah.
She's staring at you.
Is
My,
this the
um,
person that you posted the picture in Discord, the engineer?
Yeah.
Oh,
Ooh,
yeah. I was gonna. So she basically says you ignore the thing, and Flame would probably retort with like, well, fortune does tend to favor the bold, which is why I went last.
Good on you. Yeah.
Did Teddy go in first?
Yeah.
What's up?
I
Yeah,
mean,
take a
there's
seat right
dangers
there.
everywhere.
Her name's Timothy. She kind of reaches out like this mechanical arm.
Over the saw blades. Yeah,
Yeah.
Teddy reaches out to shake her hand.
Yeah, take a seat. There's no problem. The rest of you, where the fuck are you here?
hi.
Hey, speak up, little man. Come on. Chop.
I have nothing now because I've been intimidated by the saw blades.
Oh, it's the saw blades that intimidated you. Oh, that's the welcoming mat, really.
Wait, real quick, do the saw blades have a message also written on them?
Yeah, they say fuck off.
So I figure fuck and then off. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sophie just waves like, "Hi, I'm Sophie. I'm just here with this group. That's a really cool arm. Did you build it?"
Hey, yeah, come on. Take a seat. And the rest
Sophie,
of you
just take-
three, fuck off.
I will actually take the dagger or the knife and say we're maybe looking to get outfitted in a similar fashion to this.
Oh, really? Used to daggers and such, are you?
Not really. That's
You a
why I need
fighter?
something good.
Oh, if you can't kill someone with your bare hands, then you don't have any right to get a weapon involved in it.
I don't really prefer killing people if I can
Uh-huh.
help it. You know, that's kind
Yeah.
of frowned upon.
Yeah, you see, I'm frowning right now, so frowned upon, definitely. I'm not really.
Brandies. Does that mean anything?
Did you speak while I was speaking?
I yes, that's how conversations work sometimes.
Oh no, not in this, not in this cathedral. No, when I'm talking, I'm what is that? I'm like the Pope, right? You remember the Pope?
I think the Pope is long dead. Do we have a Pope?
No.
Looks at everyone quite like curiously.
Don't think so. I was
Well,
never
if we
much
do,
for
I didn't
religion.
vote for him.
I thought that's who your construct was named after.
All right.
I mean, I don't
hey,
know why my concept would be a Pope, but I mean,
No,
we can make it,
Francisco.
It
Pope
can.
Professor.
I love people named
Aye.
Francesco.
All right. Hey, big, well sculptured man. Can you pick up that crossbow over there? She points at like this like huge two-hander with like a javelin attached to it.
Hey, Teddy goes and does that.
All right. You see the one with the thermos who's kind of interrupted me twice. Can you shoot him right between the legs, kind of in the groin area?
Ma'am.
What? Oh, I'm not a ma'am. No, just Timothy. Timothy's fine. Tim, if you know
Timothy.
me real well. You know what I'm saying?
As charming as you are, my loyalty lies with my companions for the moment.
They're not going to kill him. Just take off a little bit. He's an architect, right? He can put it all back.
A lot of blood loss.
We'd rather not.
That will not get you the result you wanted.
All right.
Even,
So,
even if we did it.
He's
dear,
probably numb down there anyway.
dear architect, this is my final warning when I'm speaking, and if you interrupt, that javelin is going through your groin. All right? We have a deal? Excellent. You can come on in. Same with you, other architect. I'm just gonna bundle you guys together like little puppies. All right.
Oh, I thought I was
Uh,
wearing. I thought I was wearing indescript armor, indescript outfit. I didn't know you could tell.
You smell
So-
of it.
Sophie's already like come in. Like
That'd
as
be
soon
the
as
embalming
Timothy
fluid.
said you can sit down. Sophie went in and it's like already sitting down, like kicking her legs back and forth, just fascinated by this entire interaction.
All right. What's your name, lady?
Hey.
Yep.
Bateman.
Bateman. All right.
Bateman.
Whatever.
I mean, it's a bit rude.
It is rude, right? Did you think this would be a nice visit? Did the signs tip you off that this would be a pompous ass palace?
I figured it would be more of a business transaction
No,
instead of a friendly
no,
chat.
no. I'm rude throughout the whole engagement.
As long as you, I guess, embrace it.
I wanted to shoot a javelin through your friend's groin.
That's murderous. That's not rude.
It's not murderous, it's maiming. I would make sure he got the proper care as best as I can. I have the fires ready. We would have burnt that right in there, cauterized whatever was left.
That doesn't
Fine.
actually work. Oh, never mind.
That's not how it works. So are you not a business?
She's like looking at Teddy like,
Take the
But not so
shot.
subtle. Like,
yeah.
do it. Do it.
That is a real to life. That is a Teddy laugh.
Is this not a business that you run here?
I mean, not really. It's a passion project more than anything else. I'm not out here because I want to make the money. I'm out here because I hate people. But I
That's like
will
what I do. Oh, sorry, I was talking while you were talking.
Are you passionate about making blades for 8-year-olds? Trying to distract her that Sophie just accidentally talked when she was talking.
Yeah, she's like looking over at Teddy, and it's like, oh, Brandy.
Do you know her by name?
Of course I do. Every person who comes through the shop and gets something nice, I know by name.
So were those a special made just for her, or did you already?
Oh, the architects know this. This is kind of a patient to doctor confidentiality type thing. Yeah, I'm sorry. I know you're trying to dig up that tree, shake whatever comes down. But you haven't passed the saw blades, really, so I haven't welcomed you into my house yet.
You invited us in to sit down.
I invited these two to sit down. The architects can stand in the corner. And you, I haven't figured out what I want to do with you yet.
Blakeman hasn't actually come even inside the door yet. He's still standing outside.
Just like
Teddy-
just
Teddy-
occasionally pokes his head in and says something, and then kind of disappears back.
This is when Teddy says, "I told you we should have just gone straight home."
What? No. Hey, come on now. Is this an unpleasant experience for you? You're holding a crossbow, so I thought you'd like it in your hands.
It's not unpleasant for me.
Good. Well, as long as you're pleasant, that's
I'm
all that
having
matters. And you.
I can take a bit of rudeness in a conversation. Everyone's different.
All right, cool.
Some people are not as good at interacting with other people.
Oh, I'm amazing at it. Top of my class, really.
Then
So you want weapons?
I'd like to see what you have.
I can show you. Demonstration.
Demonstrate on who?
You.
Not into getting hurt
And why do you want weapons?
because I'm not into getting hurt.
You're gonna get hurt if you get weapons.
Teddy nods.
Like farmers, right? They don't come here for weapons. They come here for a shovel and a hoe. They're not gonna get hurt. You come here looking for a weapon, and it's hurt coming your way.
I'll just show the cut in my shirt from the leg bladed, and say I'm already getting hurt because I can't defend myself. At least then I'll have a chance to fight back.
It's important to you, huh?
I like to be alive.
Oh, do you
Ben
make
raises his
tools?
hand.
She looks over at Sophie. What?
Yeah, I've got some of the things I take apart. They've got these really weird little like 3-prong screws, and I haven't quite been able to get the right sort of screwdriver to get them out of there.
Everything in here has been meticulously gathered and put together by my own hands, where I want nothing, and everything is up to my standards. You see this place? This is my sanctuary. This is my cathedral. Everything's fine here. I got my shit together. I want for nothing, except for maybe another strawberry per day. But there's nothing I can do about it. They will not budge on it, even via threat of death.
Right? We tried the same thing.
You tried
Strawberry
a javelin
mafia.
through the eye?
We
Ben
didn't quite
raises his hand
try
tentatively.
that.
So not the same thing. Okay, that's fair. All right. What's your name? Pointing at officer.
Who?
At Ben?
Bateman.
Oh, Bateman.
Bateman.
All right. Come on in. Pass the saw blades. You don't get a stool. Those stools are reserved for my two friends here. I swear to God, if you're on the other side of the door and you poke your head in one more time to get into the conversation without actually being in a place where I can engage with you.
I mean, I would when he actually steps through. There's I'm assuming the saw blades take over. He's like, it actually would be quite difficult for me to step over them. Can you retract them, maybe?
No.
Well, I'll just try to stand over here then.
Hey, I'll give you I'll help you up. We'll do
Yeah, why don't you two help each other out, you little guinea pigs, and then get in that corner over there. All right, that's your corner.
All right, how well do we maneuver this?
It's
He's like below
awkward.
you with the hand. to help you up.
He's just like, I'm not as limber as I once. Well, if I ever was.
Heavy.
just
Brother,
just
that
balance
was
my
not a
leg.
lion. I'm not a lion. Oh,
Use your snake blood. Use your snake blood.
Like looking at Teddy the whole time.
Look, there's a perfect shot. There's a perfect shot.
Sorry, if I shoot them, I have to carry them out.
I have a wagon. No, it doesn't do it. All right, fine.
I think they'll be quiet.
A wagon
Alright.
for sale?
I said I had a wagon. I don't have a wagon for sale. No.
Okay.
Hello.
All right, so we have the two guinea pigs. I'm not going to bother with your name. I'm not going to like you. My two stool people. What's your names?
Teddy.
All right.
I'm Sophie.
All right. And I don't know quite you yet, but you just stand in the middle right there, preferably right underneath the next set of saw blades.
I will not stand directly under the saw blades if there's room to not stand there.
Yeah.
Anywhere else.
Well, looking up, there's no place where you can stand where there are no saw blades.
Is this like one of those bars where there's just like sharp implements just hanging literally?
Yeah.
It's like that's not necessary.
I think Sophie like tries to speak up on behalf of Officer Bateman. And it's probably gonna come across as rude, but she means well. She's like, no, Officer Bateman's pretty good. Like she's like a chair person. Like the stools are really cool. She's like a chair, maybe like a
All
low
right.
chair.
So did you say
not a high
Officer
one.
Bateman?
That's a-
Like
You did it again.
militia?
Over Sarah
Bateman?
Bateman. That was direction pointing. See off in that direction, off over there.
Hey, Teddy, if you don't mind, and this is, I mean this with so much love, Sophie, stay still. Teddy, could you just shift the heavy crossbow, just aiming at Sophie? Don't shoot Sophie, though. I quite adore Sophie, but just we're gonna intimidate Sophie real quick. Sophie, tell me the truth. Is this an officer of the law that you've brought into my shop?
And Sophie does like when the kid finally has to tell the truth and they feel bad. Like, yes.
I'll
Alright,
step
excellent.
between Sophie and the javelin being pointed at her.
You do
At
know
this
that.
point, like Teddy has actually engaged in this game, knowing that he is not going to actually shoot at anybody, but it's kind of fun at this point. So he has actually pointed the crossbow at Sophie.
Officer Bateman, you know that will just make both of you dead. The javelin has enough pressure and mass that it would go not only through you, but through the person behind you, and then into the dirt. But I like your spunk. Don't like the officer part of it. So you're a militia, yes?
Yes.
All right. Can you expound on that? Why are you here? Is it officer-related things?
In a way.
Okay. Well, I'm not saying anything.
We're
Whatever
not
you
here really
think
for information. I was very honest. We're here to kind of outfit ourselves and
Good, because that person was missing a leg when I found them. Just nothing to do with me.
I'm sorry, who?
No one. Just if you hear a rumor that someone's fucking off about a leg going missing, it happens all the time. All right. It's
would it
no
look
big
like this
deal.
person's leg was shot off with a javelin?
It's probably more like a saw, like yanking.
Sophie just sort of interjects very quietly. He's like, see, this is part of the why, the chair, and not the stool part.
Is to have a thing to sit on. I'm in the back here.
This is true. Poor little guinea pigs. All right, what do you have? What do you need? I have about like a 10-minute break here, so we can talk shop.
Anybody want anything?
Screwdriver? The three prongs?
Yeah, there's a little box behind you. Just grab one.
Sophie's digging through the box.
Yeah, it's like all these different like screwdrivers.
Kid in
do
a
you
candy
make-
store right now.
Do you make all of
Yeah.
the weaponry for this?
Everything in here that I made. Everything. You see it. I made it.
Are you the only one around here that could make these types of things?
Yes.
And how much area do you cover? Like who all do you make this for?
You want to know? Oh, my client. You want my client list?
Maybe not everyone. I just would like to know, like, if we're going to be in the area and maybe we need something, could we go to someone else? Are you the only
No,
person
I'm
around?
the only one.
For how far?
I don't know. As far as you can, please.
That's good to know.
Very inquisitive, this one, right? Am I going to be in trouble after this?
No, I just like to always be prepared no matter where I am. If something were to break, I wouldn't want to be. I'd want to
Yeah.
know where to go.
So, just for your reference, I'm an engineer of the Citadel, one of the scientists. All right. In this world of social order, that puts me several places above you. So if I get heat on this, you damn well sure expect some heat from myself and the Citadel concerning your job. Am I making myself clear? Not that I would abuse my power, but I would abuse my power
Hey,
if
real
you
quick,
make me feel uncomfortable.
would Flakeman recognize what she's saying as being truthful, or even recognize like?
I was about
what
to ask
she's-
that as well.
Yeah, so the wealth, like the wealthy in their privilege in our society has been replaced by the scientists of the Citadel or the builders. So architects and engineers kind of have taken that place. And with privilege and power and stuff like that does come the same sort of privileges that the wealthy get by they can just do
So we have no reason to doubt her. We have zero reason to doubt her. Okay.
correct, yeah.
So it wouldn't be weird for someone from the Citadel to be here?
It's not common, but sometimes they do have shops set up outside the Citadel. It's not common, but it is heard of.
Yeah, and clearly, and just her what she's accomplished kind of screams. Oh, she actually knows what she's, or he knows what she's doing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I have so many questions, but I don't know how to ask them.
I was gonna say, Flakeman at some point, Flakeman would go, "Oh, the setup you have here on the ceiling, when the wind blows through, it has a nice chime-like effect. It's very soothing."
It is really nice, and a 2% chance of having the saw come down on you. That's how I lost this right here.
It's like, my word. Do you need any attention to that, or?
No, I just welded this little thing right here. Has a crushing strength better than my other arm, and it could do this, and it like vibrates a little bit. Yeah.
Flakeman doesn't get it at all. He's just like, I don't see how that could be helpful in the least bit.
Yeah. And that's why you and your mate are in the corner there, because
my
you
God.
don't have any clue about this.
Player is watching this like, that's hot. Sophie's like,
Oh,
to like get bubbles out of resin, maybe? I'm not sure why that's useful.
Teddy definitely laughs appreciatively.
Flakeman wills didn't point out though. He's like, no, I meant more like, is there any infection between the metallic part and the flesh? Or
No, I blow on it every now and then. It's fine.
it's like an NES cartridge. Okay.
I don't know.
Oh,
about
I have some of
that.
those.
All right.
Do you have
Sophie,
Dragon Warrior?
Sophie,
You have
cool
a
it,
copy of Bambi
Jaw
too.
check.
cool it with the old tech nerd shite. Okay. You're on that stool for now, Sophie, but don't think I'll put you over there with the guinea pigs.
Sophie stops talking, but she's definitely doing like, you know, quietly to herself.
I think Van would try to speak up. Do you have any wages I could pay for a specific invention to be made? Some kind?
So I don't take commissions for money or anything like that. I take commissions and such because I'm interested. So if you give me the plans or you pitch me an idea and I find it interesting, yeah, sure, I'll do it.
I would like a tranquilizer gun, like a syringe gun, as syringes of tranquilizers. Because I have this crossbow here, and this is it's set to kill, designed to kill. I want something a little more
Yeah, no.
scientific.
Let's make sure we have the correct monikers for things. What you have right there is a pea shooter. What Teddy is holding, that's a crossbow.
Well, the
Understand.
point is to inject a chemical, not to go through the body to where it doesn't do anything at all.
It's going to be quite a design. It'll be interesting to figure out how that'll work. Probably a smaller thing. I don't usually make crossbows as such that don't
Skewer.
exactly right. If you're going to do something, you might as well do it all the way. Don't half-ass it. A javelin through most places in the body will do pretty much what a crossbow bolt would do with a sleep concoction on it.
But as you say, I'm a guinea pig. I am
You're a guinea pig.
Handling speed. Oh,
All right. I'll make it, sure.
Oh, good job, Dr. Vin. I actually would be interested in seeing that myself.
Oh, hey, don't use names for the guinea pigs. It's best not to name them. They could go out at any time. Short lifespans, those things.
I thought that was the rule when you won a goldfish at the state fair.
I was never at the state fair.
Well, neither have I. I've read about them.
I blacked out for a second. You guys froze up. What was going on?
She has agreed to make your item.
Wunderbar. Thank you. I am very.
How long would something like that take?
4 hours. I have most of the tools here. I've played around with things like that before. Just didn't think a guinea pig would ever come in asking for it.
Could we? Do you guys think we have 4 hours to wait?
Well,
Yeah,
you've
4
came in
hours.
here. You've wasted about 5 minutes of mine, so I think 4 hours would be appropriate.
I could wait.
Did you need anything else?
You're muted, Teddy.
At this point, we're not making it back today.
I mean, we can. It'll just be late in the evening.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be late. Which might be nice. We don't have to travel in the sun all day.
I mean, if you want a ride, I do have a car.
That would be beautiful.
It would be beautiful. This is, of course, for the stool people.
Did I hear that right? You have a functioning vehicle?
Yep, I do.
Is that normal?
Yeah, engineers. There are some cars in Florence, but very few.
They probably
Usually
require
takes.
tons.
Yeah, they're like little. They're like mini tanks.
And they probably require like constant maintenance. That's why engineers are about the only ones.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
I imagine.
then.
It's like I haven't been to ride in a atomic an automobile. I'm trying to think of an archaic way of saying it in quite some time.
It looks like you haven't been on a ride in some time.
A gas-powered carriage.
Yes, that's what I just said. I don't get it. What's she talking about?
Corn oil. Yes, works out quite nice.
I will. I'm like thinking to myself, okay, well, a ride is plenty of time to talk and get information, so I'm not going to ask any more questions right now. But I'm not going to like. I'll just be like, oh yeah, that would be awesome.
But in your brain, you're like, hell yeah, let's make a
Interview
day
time.
of it. Like,
What does Sophie think of that though? The idea that there's a car. I thought that would really excite her. Then.
Oh yeah, she is. She's very excited. She comes back with her screwdriver, and it's like a functioning car.
Yeah, you want to see it?
Yeah.
All right, come on. And she like goes to like this door and just kind of pulls chains that it lifts up. You see several of the saw blades above kind of jingle, especially above where she's at. And she kind of flips on a light. Electricity kind of blooms and illuminates a garage with this kind of it looks like a a four-door Fiat with like all of the parts replaced with like rustic metal, like thick armor, as well as like Mad Max like javelin harpoon things on the top of it.
Probably more than 4 tires. Like
Oh yeah.
like 2 in the
Just
back are just gigantic, and there's a slam.
The tires all have spikes on them.
Drop us off
They're-
a couple blocks away
um,
from town
just-
so no one sees us riding up in this thing.
Is everybody up to date on their tetanus shot?
Yeah, there is like the remains of a body on the front of it, like blood smeared and like a little bit of gore.
Well, I'll hit like the remain, like just like a little bit of. Okay, for a second, I thought you were saying like they were strapped to the front of the vehicle.
All right.
Is there enough of like the existing form for Sophie to be able to tell like what this was built on, like what car it used to be?
Oh yeah. You with your stuff, you definitely It's a four-door Fiat.
Okay. Yeah. Sophie just starts going on and on about Fiat and like the history of the company and the different models that they made and like very detailed car stuff, like how big the engine is and like what computer it uses to regulate stuff. I don't know. Player doesn't know that much about cars, but Sophie would.
Yeah. Oh, that's fair. She's like,
Ah,
yep,
yes.
this is my butte.
Yes.
Um,
the corn. Oh god.
Timothy, would you mind if I set up my camera and took a picture of everyone in front of your vehicle? I'll let you keep a copy.
Yeah, sure. Let me just power wash this front off real quick. And she takes like a little gun and shoots off a little bit of brain matter off of the front of the car and wipes the blood off. Like, all right, I think it's squeaky clean. Yep.
Actually, finally, like, was that a? Did you hit a deer?
There are no deers around here.
Cannibals, probably.
Oh dear.
You know, we have the schematics for our corn-fueled engines in the archives, right next to the schematics for cold fusion.
Just casually laying about.
Look, this works fine. It's perfect. It's pristine. This kitty will purr. There's even room in the back for romantic endeavors. And she pulls the trunk back and like this little like futon flops out.
Don't.
Sophie looks at us like, oh wow, you could have like such a awesome picnic on that thing.
Oh no,
yes.
not food. No food on this. This has been used for very specific activities.
So you're saying no eating out happens on there?
Oh my god.
Some
Oh my
eating out.
Heroes don't do that.
Oh my god!
Yeah, and of course Sophie's just like, you just said no. I don't.
Well, I've every now and then I've gone to Florence and gotten some takeout. Yeah.
Okay. I'm just saying, like, you could have the really fancy strawberries, and you know you could like watch a sunset or something. That'd be nice.
Is that a proposition?
I mean, if you want to get strawberries and watch the sunset, that would. Sure.
I'll check my calendar. Yeah. And she'll flop the trunk back up, and the futon rolls itself back up.
So how much time does this cut off our trip to have a car?
Oh, I can get back to Florence in about 2 hours. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, it
love
doesn't
it.
go below like 80, so.
Are we
We get
just
one
like
speed.
flying through a field in this car? Oh my god, yes.
Yeah,
Are there?
this sounds like a great time.
I'll say by now, like Flame is like, okay, who wants to be in the picture? I think we have good light coming from the sun.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
There she is.
Teddy puts his armor on for this purpose. Because that's what you want.
Yeah. Oh, Teddy, pick out a blade or something nice and hefty.
Oh yeah. He picks up
Yeah.
a sword.
Yeah. Pictures love a good hefty sword.
Puts it over his arm or his head like He-Man.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Castle Grayskull.
Yeah.
The,
So then you have to
the
make it a
hoodest
portrait to get the whole
Yeah.
thing.
Oh my god.
I think
The hood of
Ben
this thing
just
is pretty sturdy.
lies on
though.
it.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I think for the picture, Ben just lies down and does sort of like puts his stilettos up, so laying on his stomach, doing like this like lay down pose, like the sort of like the.
On like the roof of the car.
That's what I was thinking on the
I
hood
was
of the
gonna say on the
car.
roof
You're
of
like,
or maybe on the roof of the car if he isn't killed on sight.
Yeah, I mean, there's spikes all over the car, so it's very uncomfortable. But yeah, you're allowed to hop on it.
I look sexy.
one leg up, like, ooh.
Photograph
So,
you
yeah.
like one of your French girls.
Yeah, and she reattaches. She takes off her arm and then replaces it with like this sword that seems to like open up and blossom at a point.
It's like it's not one sword, it's 10 swords. Like just
Yeah, it's one of my favorite things. You stuff this in them and you open it up, and they bloom perfectly. But it doesn't kill anyone, Officer Bateman. Doesn't kill anyone. It's
Bateman.
non-lethal. Whatever.
I love how you're more offended by that than something that really excavates someone from the inside out.
I'm taking mental notes, but I'm terrified.
Yeah. What's Sophie doing?
So yeah, she's climbing up onto the hood of the car and standing because she's short. So
Yeah, that makes
she's standing on the hood of
Yeah.
the car to be seen and like holding up her new screwdriver like it's a brand new toy on Christmas morning.
And Flagman will, because he still hasn't got quite the hang of it. When he finally sets it all up, and he tries his best to set the timer, and by the time it flashes, he's a blur trying to run into the image.
Yeah.
But he won't know that till later when he develops it.
Yeah.
But the rest of you, however you want to look, you all come out fantastic.
Aww.
Excellent.
There's a
Oh,
it's like
you always gotta take the photo.
and even though he I was gonna say the sun was out, I guess he would try to do it with natural light so there wouldn't be an explosion this time.
Yeah. All right. Now what? Well, I guess I got work to do. You wanted a weapon to fight, right? Little officer
Like
Bateman.
like a net launcher. I've always wanted to use one of those.
Net launcher.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, sure. I have one right now. Would you like to
take
use it? All right.
I like-
There's a dummy outside you can practice on. And she just kind of tosses you like this gun with a huge barrel on it. It's quite heavy, hefty, but yeah.
So just catch
Oh.
it like.
I wouldn't mind. I'm not one of the for the fisticuffs, but do you have back in the day they used to have, and I think some people still employ them. Teddy, you correct me if I'm wrong on this, but essentially like a riot shield, just something I could use to defend myself, but also cover myself and whoever I might be trying to tend to.
Yeah, just get one of those scrap metals from outside in the bin and I'll put a handle on it, sure.
Sounds good to me. And so, if anything, Flame just has a hard time finding one that's big enough to cover his mass.
Yeah, you're like. Do you go outside to practice on the dummy?
I do. I really do.
Before you head out, Teddy like gives you like a head gesture, and then he kind of like does that one knee kneel to show you how to brace your body before you shoot it.
If you want to try it first and show me the proper, I'm okay with not
You'll be
getting my
fine.
hand
Just
blown
don't
off.
expect to be able to shoot that standing fully up.
Okay. Can I get some kind of I don't want to keep asking for things like maybe some sort of strap that I can just like swing this thing around on my back and not have to carry it the whole time?
Oh yeah, we have straps here.
Okay.
Sure.
That's
Every time
That's-
Timothy said something raunchy, Teddy just nods.
Like so you,
It's
you
like,
brace
why-
yourself, officer, and press the trigger.
Is it a leather strap?
Oh no, you haven't gotten the strap yet. You'll get that
Okay.
later.
Yeah, I'll go practice, but I'll wait for everybody to be finished up with their business, and then I'm not trying to interrupt everyone.
Yeah. Well, so when you press the when you hit the trigger, out comes razor wire, and it just serrates the dummy, like it wraps around it and rips off, like cuts deep into the neck and the head, and just lacerates several parts of the body. And then like there are weights around the razor wire, so once it starts spinning, it pulls down and starts slicing into the dummy.
Oh,
I'm so glad I tested this on the dummy first.
Yeah.
Yeah, also,
Having some Zorg Fifth Element vibes going on.
yeah.
It's like that one's my personal favorite.
Yeah, that's my massive.
I see 2 Vins.
yeah,
me
we're
too.
waiting for one to drop off. Because if I kick one out of Zoom, then if it happens again, Anthony won't be
Yeah.
able to rejoin.
I will leave the razor wire rope there and try and find a non-lethal alternative.
The best you come up with is very heavy netting, but with like these brass balls attached to a lot of it, so it will smack the shit out of someone and bruise them, but mostly won't be lethal. Like there's still a potential for it to be lethal, but at least it won't lacerate their body. If anything, it will bruise and cause a concussion.
Maybe
It's-
break some bones.
yeah,
I'll take it.
break bones and stuff. You're like, it's the best we can
Sure.
do.
Yeah, no such
Yeah,
thing
that-
as non-lethal, just less lethal.
Well, success. I'll just write possibly non-lethal.
Yeah. So for that weapon, there'll be a chance with every firing that you actually like hurt someone, but for the most part, it'll do stun.
Okay. Yeah, I'll make sure to only use it when really need it.
When Brandy's coming after you.
Oh god. I'll
That's
just
really what
stuff
all this
brandy
is.
in it and let her
Yeah.
like hold her
Yeah, just
daggers
like,
out and then shoot
bam.
her out of it.
Well, then it's 100% lethal if you're shooting a Brandy out of it.
That's an area to effect attack.
Yeah. It's like the little Wolverine girlfriend Logan. Like, ah!
She's got like claws.
Yeah, yeah.
I love it.
So anything else you guys are doing before she packs up a picnic in the car? And
Did she give them the gun?
yeah, about 4 hours later, there's a nice like little it's like this mini harpoon gun, and like this little custom made crossbow bolts. There's a slight sliver of cylinder glass within it that you can kind of see where the liquids go into.
Oh,
But yeah, she says just don't shoot it at anyone's head. It will go through their head. Kind of like pumpkins they are. But if you shoot it anywhere else, it should be fine.
yeah. Oh, it seems straightforward.
Mm-hmm. Don't take out an eye with that, yeah?
I mean, I should not. I want to leave any specimen I capture intact.
Yep. That's why you are all the creepiest.
If Timothy lets him, Teddy would like to hang out in the shop while she works,
Mhm.
and just sort of chatter about the wilds and stuff.
Oh
You know,
yeah, yeah. Yeah, it seems like she does a lot of custom work for Techno Power Division, so pretty much you'll see her mark, which is a FU. She kind of engraves into every bit of her weapons and armor.
Teddy checks his gear for that.
Your the bottom of your boot, like Andy Toy Story, has like an FU on it.
Excellent, excellent. Yeah, just sort of chilling. He might drop off to sleep for a few minutes here and there.
Yeah, she'll
Never gets
provide.
enough sleep.
Yeah, she'll provide a pillow. It's like this little strap pillow that
Yeah.
puts on your head like a little hat. So when you slump over, it's just like.
Yeah. He's just propped up in the stool and like his head will fall forward. Travel pillow.
Yeah. All right. Anything else?
Mm.
I'm gonna try and ask more questions once we get in on the car ride. I'm trying not to do too much at once. This is the nicest rude person I've ever talked to.
Yeah.
Maybe they just want to. They actually don't shun people because if there's not people around, who are they going to be rude to?
It's a nice balance you have to strike. But she'll go ahead. Sorry.
Sophie's also just hanging out while Timothy's working and asking annoying questions, probably, and commenting on things.
I will go get my badge back
From
Brandy. Yes, I need that.
Like, or else you have to, the amount of paperwork it takes to fill out when you lose a badge. I'm sure.
Yeah.
I love doing it. It's just I don't think we have the time.
Yeah. Go ahead and make an investigation. You need 2 successes to find Brandy.
Investigation?
Brandy is only found when Brandy wants to be found.
I will save my Joker and investigation I'm trained in, so I'll play these 2 for 2 successes.
Yeah, you see her. She is laying on a hill, looking out to a little farmland where you see a lovely couple, kind of laughing and enjoying some water in the afternoon. She just has like this like almost ghillie suit over her with several like weeds and grass over her face and stuff, and she has like the mud caked over her face.
I will kneel down to her and say, "Oh God, you're gonna make me break her heart, aren't you?" I'll say, "All right, we didn't really need you this undercover, but I like the enthusiasm. We have to go back.
I'm not working. I'm watching my parents, keeping them safe.
Perfect. That's what we need you to do. We need you to stay here and keep everyone safe. We have to go back to headquarters now and regroup.
Are you leaving me?
We'll be back. We're not finished here by far.
That's what
but
my
we
parents said.
We need you to keep everyone safe. You have parents that are here for you. And you can protect them. Okay? This is your job. This is your mission.
Looks away and takes off the badge and places it on the dirt.
Can I just say I have like an extra badge on me, like one of the fake ones? Okay. So I'll trade that one and just give her the fake one. And
Junior deputy.
yeah, I don't like that you're pouting.
I'll a kid pout. I've done that a couple times.
This isn't goodbye, but sometimes in our line of work, we have to work alone.
The lip quiver.
Yeah, I think I'm used to it by now.
Why don't you try and form like your own thing here with everyone around you? That way you don't have to work alone.
There's no other children here. No one understands me.
There's literally not a single other child here. I'm so upset right now.
It's okay. Officer Bateman, I understand. You have your path and I have mine. She gets up and wipes the grass off of her. I think I'd like to be alone right now, if you don't mind, Officer Bateman.
Are we coming back through here? No.
She extends a hand.
You are lying to that child? It's even worse than just saying goodbye.
Look, I can't say I'm not going to be back here ever. I don't know that.
I'm pretty sure Sophie's gonna insist for the strawberries at some point.
That's what I was about to say. Sophie will almost certainly insist one way or another we make it back out here.
I'll reach out and shake her hand and be like, it's not an easy job, but it takes strong people to do it. And you're strong. And I know you can do it.
Strength is just the cleaving of your humanity and moving forward into something else. Thank you, officer. I'll remember this. And she'll walk away.
I'll just, until next time.
And you hear like sniffles. Like,
Can I want to give her a hug before she walks away.
like hug her, like
a big hug.
Get stabbed.
she's like, I haven't been hugged in a long time.
I don't think I've ever hugged anyone.
She'll hug you back. Just don't leave me.
I'll definitely
Come back.
Yeah. Oh no, we're best friends. I can't not come back to see you.
I'm gonna apply to live with you one day.
That's your parents love you. Your parents need you.
They don't understand me though.
Well, I mean, talk to them, help them understand.
They're mostly afraid.
Remember that we gotta be strong. We're the strong ones.
I think that strength scares them though.
You can do it.
She'll hand you a knife, like a little curved one. This one's special. It's made for lacerating wrists and necks, to get right into the vessels to engage in the most blood flow.
I'm so glad she doesn't have that anymore.
She like pokes some places around you where like your major arteries are.
Like
Slash
under the
around
armpit,
there.
like all the soft spots.
Yeah.
I'll, like,
Dr. Ben
give-
is just actively writing like a patient pamphlet to sort of like application to extract child, extremely dangerous individual, separation from reality, most likely will start killing.
Yeah, and she does have
animals
several
through the
more
year.
of those knives in her in her jacket.
I'll give hers back that I've like doled down while I've had it.
She takes it and flips it in her hand. This will be interesting. I see what you've done. Made it duller, so I would have to work harder in order to get the same effect. It's good training. By Officer Bateman. And she jumps off like the hill and runs.
God.
Make you hurt a child.
I didn't. You...
This is why you don't talk to children. They have no boundaries.
Yeah, this is why I never had one.
No boundaries. And if you talk to them, you will hurt them in some way, or they'll hurt you. I mean,
Or
either way,
both.
someone's going to be
Or both.
uncomfortable, and it's just better off not dealing with them at all.
Then would probably try to catch up with Sophie on their way back, and kind of be like, "Hi,
Hello.
how was she?"
How? What?
How are you? Is a better
I'm-
question.
I'm good. Yeah. I've got this cool screwdriver and just taking some stuff apart. How
Mm.
how are you? And so she's
I'm
just like,
fine.
"Why are you talking to me?" Kind of look on her face, but not in a like mean way, just confused.
He takes a moment and like looks around like, you are not the police officer.
No, I'm the technosophist.
And walks away. No, and he got. It's like saying, asking because like he knows that Bateman went to go see the kid, and so accidentally forgot and went to you, assuming you were Bateman, being like, how was she? How was
Oh no, it's robotic again.
Oh no.
it? Wait, what's going on?
You were roboting. Sorry.
I'm confused. Oh yeah, my internet is getting so weird.
Yeah. So.
Ignore me.
I caught that Ven thought Sophie was Officer Bateman. Um, what was it that you said after that?
He was basically just like to you while he was forgetting that you were not Bateman. You were not Bateman. It was like, hey, how's the kid?
Uh, um, what kid?
Oh, are you're not the officer?
No, I'm the technosophist.
Okay. Yeah. The machine I have helps me remember names, not faces. I will keep that in mind in the future.
Okay, that's good.
But how are you though?
Oh, do you still want to talk to me? Usually, when I say no, I'm the technosophist, that's when most people just stop the conversation.
You and I
I'm
had some
good.
good conversations. So no. I mean, I like you. When I made a mistake, but I'm still happy to see you.
Oh, well, that's a nice. That's really nice. I'm good. I got this really cool screwdriver, and I'm just taking some stuff apart and getting really good little components for future products.
Right.
How are
Do you
you?
think we could hack constructs from a distance?
I mean, in theory, if it was equipped with like a Wi-Fi
Just putting that
transmitter,
out there.
yeah, in theory, I mean, I don't know how to like in reality, but in theory, yes, it would be possible. I think if it had certain parts on it. I mean, they're
Mhm.
basically like computer programs, but a little bit different.
There are individual platforms. I believe we sometimes call them where programs we create through the archives and the Citadel. They are carried out through these platforms, these constructs. So if I gave you information that I would be supervising while you were examining, perhaps we could create some sort of device that would allow remote access. Does that
Hmm.
sound interesting to you?
Well, I don't normally like working for the Citadel, but I wouldn't mind working for you. And that does sound like a fun project, so sure, I'll give it a try.
Yeah, I was not going to ask you to work for the Citadel. They would probably have my head for making such a device. But for our purposes, I mean,
Oh,
you
then
know,
absolutely count me in.
yeah, I'm kind of realizing that pamphlet, you know, yeah, I have to make as you say, precautions on the matter if the Citadel has been keeping information away from the public, and more importantly, me.
Yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, I'd be happy to do that, especially if it's gonna, piss off the Citadel. That sounds like a really fun project.
Venice. Venice is interesting. What do you think? Is it? Do you think it's true? And if so, what could that mean?
I mean, I can't imagine that, given how big the population used to be, even with all the reductions and everything. I can't imagine that this is the only place that people are, having some sort of society. So, I mean, yeah, I think it's probably true.
Hmm. I'm not a arrogant man, but I am a person who has a hard time developing without some assistance from machines and things. So, how do I put it? It's hard to have imagined a world where the citizen knows a different city exists, and I would not have stumbled upon that during my time there. Yeah.
I mean, maybe it's. I don't know how all the different things work, but maybe it's like a firewall. They've got their own little database or library or whatever, and it's just separate from what you have access to, and so you don't know that it's there. But somebody higher up than you might know that it's there.
Hmm. I've had access to very high confidential things as well. Is also why that idea concerns me. I mean, the amount of censorship and border patrol that would need to go into keeping an entirely different massive city from the people is extraordinary, almost not with the effort. And if it turns out this didn't know, how could we have missed that? It's a conundrum. Not in the sense I have any faith in the institution, but more of the logistics of it.
Well, I mean, we don't really go looking for other cities. There's not a lot of tra- uh, uh, travel and transportation and whatnot. So if we're not looking for it and we don't ever go out, then I could see that being, easy to miss. And maybe they do the same thing. They don't really go out or talk to other people.
Mm, mm. Isolationists, yeah. I
I mean,
suppose.
I've lived in the city my whole life, and I didn't know any of you before we all met because I don't talk to people. So it would have been easy for me to just not know you exist if you hadn't come around where I was.
Yeah, yeah. No, I got you. People like to keep to themselves and for their own sake, protection or uh, just because it is one's nature. I suppose if they don't know, we have a very special opportunity ahead of us. Um, you have maybe some places for your technology to be more appreciated.
That would be nice.
Right? Something different than Florence, you know. That's a good reason to go. Maybe a new city has new ideas and ways to keep the peace and keep the faith.
Yeah, that sounds like a nice thought. Nice sort of dream to hold on to, I guess, until we get there.
Hmm. But I shall do some digging when I get back. And if I have anything if I have found anything, I'll be sure to tell all of you.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. And yeah, if I come up with some sort of way to map out a route there, I'll be sure to let you know.
All right, you know, teamwork makes the dream work.
I think I came across something that said dream work in one of those piles the other day. It was one of those tape things, I think. Uh, uh, VHS. That's it.
Oh, sounds fun. Well, if you ever need it, just know you have a friend in me.
I see what you did there. Sophie just grins and has, again, it's that sort of surprised expression of like, wow, it's somebody's actually like choosing to talk to me. And just like, I've never really had a friend before. Thank you. Same.
What an exciting experiment it would be. Take care, Sophie.
Oh, make sure you write it down so you remember that I'm your friend.
And he goes out and takes, instead of like a piece of paper or a piece of a card or like a pencil, a marker, and kind of takes out one of his Plague Doctor Mask's glass lenses and just kind of writes Sophie is my friend and just pops it in there.
Oh.
So value and stuff.
Strong memento vibes. Strong memento vibes.
Yeah. Sophie just grins and nods and goes back to a little piece of technology that she was working on, and a short time after the conversation, activates it, and it's like a Frankenstein's Game Boy. It's like the original and an advance and a couple other models all pieced together, and it's barely playing Tetris or something like that.
Does it have like, even though it's but it still has like a massive joystick? You still gotta like.
Yeah. Or no, Dr. Mario. That's what it's playing.
Oh. Do 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 do. Yeah.
Yep.
Dr. Mario game, but instead of Mario, it's Ven.
Yeah. Dr. Ven. Getting rid of the construct viruses.
That'll
perfect.
end well. All right, so you guys are ready to leave. Timothy places a helmet upon her head as she steps into the vehicle. There are no helmets for anyone else. And then she puts her seatbelt on. There are no seatbelts for anyone else. As you guys just pile into the back. She, prior to this, had pushed it outside. And the back of it is against like a cement wall, and you already see like there's flame and burnt stuff on that cement wall. And she's pointed the car towards the Citadel.
Betty calls shotgun and sits up in the front with the crossbow.
All
You
right.
might not want to phrase it as calling shotgun.
I was gonna say, what would they call it nowadays? I call crossbow.
It's only been 70 years. It's a phrase that lingers.
Yeah, it's still there. All right, everyone ready? Everyone has their seatbelt on?
This
Yeah.
thing has seatbelts.
Not for you.
It's probably not enough. It probably doesn't reach all the way around his mass. He's like, oh, no,
Yeah,
never
there's
mind.
no other seatbelts. It's just hers.
Are there
Is this death proof or whatever?
are there
Sorry.
as they're colloquially known oh shit bars to hold on
Nope.
to?
The whole
Yeah.
rove is oh shit handles. We're just
Yeah,
like,
you just like grab onto the spikes, like
Sophie's just gonna grab onto like the seat in front of her.
Yeah, you see a hooded figure just on the hill, looking down, about like yay tall.
I'm not kidnapping. I'm not doing. We
Not
cannot
doing-
have an 8-year-old with us for the rest of this game.
I think she might be tougher than most of us.
But it's our
can't.
campaign goblin.
I don't want to put a child in danger. I'm not.
And yeah, Timothy flips some switches, puts a little troll doll in the front of it, and then hits a button that just says self-destruct. And the vehicle shoots off forward, going from 0 to 80 in about 4 seconds. Yeah, as a fire is bursting, the whole thing like is shaking the whole time, and you notice like a piece of the door like falls off, as well as some other parts as it continues to shake. She's just like, woo!
And does the engine sound does it sound suspiciously like the what was the guy with the red onesie on? And from Mad Max. He had a name. The guy with the guitar that shot flame
Oh
out.
god, yes.
I can't. It was like the Goombie or something like. I can't even remember his name is.
Yeah. As you guys head back, and that is where we'll end it for today.
Fantastic! I love that. Oh,
He was the
before-
he was the coma doof warrior.
Oh my goodness.
Sorry.
We're gonna go on a raid here very shortly. If you have ideas for a raid cry, there were plenty of lines to choose from today. Feel free to throw that into chat. And before we do head off, I'm gonna let everybody say what their favorite part was, where we can find them next, and anything they'd like to share or plug. And we'll go reverse order from how we started. So, Mitch, we'll start with you.
Oh man, my favorite part. It was hard. I think for me it was the conversation between Bateman and Brandy. I knew it was coming, but
I couldn't have played that much more. I would have actually cried.
it was tough. But yeah, just a good sorrowful moment. But yeah, in order for a scene to be sad, there has to be love between the people first, and so that was beautiful. Other than that, you can find me at Penny Fordell on all the social medias. Necrobiotic is on Kickstarter, or was on Kickstarter, but pre-order will be open hopefully soonish. And yeah, I'm just super excited to see what happens with this crew.
Fantastic. Wowzer, same questions.
My favorite part is definitely just Sophie's inventions right now. I love it. That's so like taking the screen off the camcorders, like the viewing device, and like having the camera as like a spy thing. That's really cool. I like that. She's very helpful. And I think Timothy's a bit softer than they let on. Rude, yes, a little rude at first, but we quickly, I mean, she took a picture with us. I like taking pictures. I like that we get to photograph our adventure. That's new. I love it.
Yeah.
So yeah, Flankman having a camera is really awesome as well. Other than that, my Twitter handle is below right here, 2Vs, wowzers. I might have some stuff to announce soon. As for now, I'll just say go follow all these people. They're all amazing. I'm having so much fun. Thank you guys for letting me play with you. This is good.
Absolutely. Awesome. Josh, what was your favorite part? Where can folks find you? Anything you want to share or plug?
I mean, it's once again without hyperbole, the whole thing really. But I actually enjoy the fact that we can all literally just have conversations without like about like, hey, what are we gonna do next? And it's like in character, and we keep going around, and we all have complete like Teddy's adamantly against everyone else's idea, and without without a whole lot of like, hey, we better like everybody just kind of follow Teddy, like the person who does the most fighting, maybe we should follow their lead. So, but I just love it. It's very organic, and the fact that penny for a tail, Mitch can just kind of step to the background and be like, let them do their thing, and I'll create the story as they tend to go forward. As any person running a game, you love those moments where the characters can help propel it whichever direction forward. At least that's my experience. But once again, you can find me. I'd prefer you to find me playing games with my kids, which is Teenagers and Troublemakers. I will put some links in the thingamabob. Also, if you're interested in Mage Duel rules for one-on-one matches in 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons, I've made a thing you can download for free. And really, I just want people to, I mean, yes, followers are nice and all that. I want feedback, whether our game sucks, whether my game sucks. Talk to me. I want to improve. I can't improve without criticism. So give it to me. And I'll give you probably 2 nice of responses because I'm not very confrontational. That's all for me.
All right. Hope, same questions.
Oh, my favorite part. Yeah. So we had like 2 different stages. We had arguing over breakfast, which was, fun because like normally arguing over breakfast over what we're going to do is just like a refinement of plans. And it seemed like it was going that way until they asked Teddy's opinion, whereas he's like, throw out those plans. I'm not participating. And the ability to just do that to be like, I'm not going along with that and you need me is kind of nice. Like his life is precious too. He's going to hold on to it. I do actually like that Mitch keeps throwing, hot, strong women at him.
So many.
And he's just like, I don't have time.
And a lot
I
of them have
I
red
have a
hair.
coffin on my back. Death is literally on my shoulder.
I mean, I imagine is this sort of like a kind of like how in Marvel comics, like we got Black Widow, we have Mary Jane, we have like a bunch of hot redheads just everywhere, like Scarlet Witch. I mean, us all.
Yeah, instead of like the spirit is willing but the flesh is weak, it's like, I mean, both of those things are willing, but the clock is ticking.
It's a time.
It's
I'll
basically
be back, ladies.
Yeah, like the final episode is just gonna be Teddy and all the sexy people like, hey, we get a night finally. I'm off.
Well, I mean, we literally just met somebody with a shag wagon, so it's like love it on the go, baby, love it on the go.
I was gonna say it reminds me of I don't care who you are. I am not paying taxes.
Oh yeah. Steve Buscemi.
Yeah.
In that Apocalypse movie, there were a bunch of them in a period of a couple of years. I'm forgetting what it is.
So many. Oh, that was the one with their oil riggers, or yeah. He's like, oh, we will not pay taxes for the rest of our life. Yeah.
Oh, I was doing not Adam versus Everything. There's this animated show that has been getting popular on TikTok. But they say like, I don't care who the IRS sends, I'm not paying taxes. In response to like a hot woman from next door, like coming on to him.
Oh, okay.
That's funny.
Sorry, there's a 50-50 chance that people don't get your reference. I got the bad.
Well,
the other half.
I relate to that.
As a Citadel employee, Teddy doesn't have any chance to not pay his taxes. He gets paid after, unfortunately. But they do pay him because he's dangerous to not pay. Once they get,
And you run into another Rose situation, and that's just downhill from there. Where else? Where can folks find you?
Yeah, you can find me at HopeTracy71 on Twitter, and here on Thursday nights for Alibi Beskar, which is a Star Wars game, and Monday nights on Lady Sido's channel. Right now we're playing Secrets of the Deep, where I play a squid person named Yorksal, who definitely has made some promises that they probably can't keep, but it was necessary. It's fine. That's it.
All right. And then Anthony, what was your favorite part? Where can folks find you? Anything you want to share or plug?
I had a couple favorite moments. One of them was Ven in the thermos. I think that felt very good to make everyone laugh that hard. The second one I think was Sophie and Ven. Kind of very like idiot, different idiot, two individuals with different idiosyncrasies, getting along and like having a shared love for like different sciences that go beyond institutions is very important to me. Especially now that he's learned that like, oh hey, here's a thing that I felt like I should have heard about from my organization but didn't, and now we're gonna have to deal with the ramifications of that. Is also really something I really like from that. Also, them just being friends it feels good.
Yeah.
So it was good. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just nodding and agreeing.
Okay. Then yeah, and also Chatbox twitter.com/chatboxCVA. I have something coming up. It's gonna be really cool, but I can't talk about it yet. So follow all these wonderful people as well. Follow Wowzer's lead. I'm excited just to be here and roleplay and kind of get back into swing things.
Awesome. I guess that just leaves me. My favorite part. I've got I think 4 highlights. One is the corn pancake in the thermos thing because that just broke me. That was so funny. Um, and then yeah, Timothy the engineer. That was great, and Sophie like in a roundabout way accidentally getting a sort of date. Um, so that was fun. Uh, the conversation between Bateman and Brandy, absolutely. Just one of those daggers right through the heart.
That's like my whole day now. I'm just gonna be like sitting on the couch, like, okay, I hurt a child today.
I mean, if you really think about it, she's got one of her mothers is a hugaholic. So if she's not getting hugs, it's because she just doesn't accept them from her.
Yeah.
They're going like,
No,
oh,
like,
no one loves me. It's like you have a mom that hugs complete strangers and force like
I feel like
she's being like the child manipulated you.
I feel like Brandy definitely has like this superhero origin story, fantasy that she's just playing out as if it were reality. It's like, oh, I haven't been hugged this way in a long time. You have a mother who loves to hug.
Yeah.
Yeah,
My mother's dead.
Nobody loves me.
It's
I'm
not my
used
real
to her
mom.
hugs.
Yeah. Like
But
she doesn't like me playing with knives. Yeah.
They're not as special anymore.
and then yeah, the conversation between Ben and Sophie, that was just so wholesome. I loved that. And Sophie has like her first friend ever, so that's really nice. Where you can find me next? Normally it's at 6 p.m. Mountain Time on Saturdays for Animus Absentis. I have been talking to the cast over the course of the day. There's a couple of folks that aren't going to be able to make it, so I'm not sure if we're going to have it tonight. I still got to talk to a couple other cast members and see what's up there. So we might not have Animus tonight. If we don't, then you can find me next, which will Tuesday at 6 p.m. Mountain Time for Standing Stones. Other stuff to share or plug. Speaking of Animus, there is a lot of big news about that entire world and setting that I don't have a lot of details for yet, but I am working on a way for a lot more people to engage in and interact with that world than just the one show. So very cool stuff coming up for that, so stay tuned for that info. I'll be talking about it more on Twitter which is right below my face, and then also my Patreon. Patrons are already getting information and sneak peeks of stuff. So there's very cool stuff there. And then other than that, it's just sponsors. I'm gonna go ahead and throw those links back into chat again. Fundamental RPG, which is a really cool D20 system. It's very easy to pick up and just run with. It is not tied to a setting, so you can run everything from high fantasy to sci-fi and everything in between on it, without having to like hack the system to make it work for what story you're trying to tell. And it's very easy to pick up if you're brand new to tabletop as well. So check that out. It's available on Amazon. Just look for Fundamental RPG or Raven Evermore, and it should pop right up. If you prefer the digital version, you can go to coffee.com/Raven, like it says at the bottom of the screen. You can go there and pick up the PDF version. It is obviously a little bit cheaper than the physical version as well, if you're looking to save some cash. And then at that same website, you can also find Intrepid gear, which is adventuring gear for real life. It's apparel and accessories and drinkware and other cool stuff like that with a tabletop theme to it. So check that out. There's bound to be something that you'll enjoy there. And then finally, Die Hard Dice, which they make amazing polymer and metal dice and accessories and dice adjacent things. They recently sent me this really, really pretty. It's the Fey Queen set, their Spellbinder. It's a metal set of dice. It is my very favorite set out of all the dice that I own, and that's saying something. So if you would like to pick up your own set, you can do that at dieharddice.com. And then if you use the code BlackFeatherJune, all one word, capital B, capital J, you can get 10% off your entire order. And then finally, if you want to catch up on this show or others on the channel, you can do so at the Fantasy Network at watch.thefantasy.network. And with that, we need words are hard. We need a raid cry. So what quote from our show today should we cry out as we go raid Saito, who's doing some tabletop over there?
The only one I remember is because I wrote it down was big missions need big meals or big breakfast. What was it? I wrote it down.
Yeah. That would be a good one.
A
What
big
about
breakfast.
like friendship? What an interesting experiment that will be.
Oh yeah, I like that one. They're both good. Either one, really. Friendship.
That line got me a lot. He's just like, oh, what an
Yeah.
interesting experiment. It's like, these are people.
Fantastic. I'm getting this
Love
into
it.
chat with our emotes, so you can just copy it right out of chat. And then yeah, we're gonna go raid Milady Saito, who's just a fantastic streamer and person in general. Give her a follow if you're not doing so already, and go say hi. And then I will see you all, if not later tonight, then on Tuesday. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.